Okay.
Yeah. We are live on YouTube, and now we are going live on Facebook. And here we are. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great Biafrans all over the world. You are welcome to this program. If you are joining, kindly invite others to join. If you are watching from YouTube, invite, like the video. Algorithm will continue to share. If you are watching from Facebook on Judge Money platforms, share the video, invite other people to join. First of all, let's listen to the voice of our supreme leader. Let's listen to it before we proceed.
Anybody not following orders from Chike, Dosium, from DOS, you will be removed. Anybody not following anything that DOS says goes. Anybody not following orders from Chike, Dosium, from DOS, you will be removed and sanctioned appropriately. You know, before we remove you without knowing where you are. This time around, we'll catch you before we remove you. Anything DOS says is what goes. Nzurunike is heading our reconciliation committee. If he calls you on the phone, you must listen to him and do as he says. He is our deputy head of Directorate of State, led by Mazi Chike. They are the highest decision-making body in IPOB. If that thing is difficult, then I'll refer it to me. Do you understand? Anything, if they call you on the phone, you don't return their call or your days from head, I will then believe that the zoo has got you over and you'll be dealt with.
He will then believe that the zoo have bought you over and you will be dealt with. Now, great Biafrans all over the world, I welcome you to welcome others. So, if you are joining, invite others to join. I am here live with our great sister, Marien. I will allow her to come in and make her introduction before we proceed with the business of the day, because we have a good package for you this evening. So, Marien, please come in and introduce yourself. Of course, Biafra knows you. Just to do the formalities and we proceed.
Good afternoon, Judge Mazi Judge Money. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
You always looking dandy and always. You look sharp though.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're always smart. You always look smart. Good afternoon, my fellow Biafrans. My name's Marien. Welcome to Judge Money's Sunday program. I will be joining with him. I'll be trying to have one or two inputs with him as we proceed along. I hope everybody is doing well. And I must give a shout out to Biafrans in United States for their beautiful, successful fundraising for our gallant men and women ESN yesterday. It was awesome. People like Dr. Donuts, Dr. Tina, our able leaders, everybody, we had a great time. We had fun. We did what we could, and we're looking forward to doing much, much better next time. So again, welcome everybody. Hopefully you will enjoy the program today. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you very much. You will enjoy the program. Of course, we are using Judge Money blog, and we are not expecting to have much audience. But if you continue sharing, you will override the activities of the Facebook algorithm, because don't forget we are in suspension with Facebook. So we will continue to push until something happens No power will stop us, not even power of, Mike Zuckerberg will stop us and his robot that is dealing with us, trying to stop what we are doing by, targeting us when we haven't done something that others did not do on Facebook. So, great Biafrans, we are here once again to talk about. Okay, that reminds me, today is Mazen Namde Kano's wife birthday, our first lady. Please, Marian Heather, I think let us start from there. That is the reason why we have them on our background, and we are going to give them that and give that honor to them. And to celebrate our first lady, so that the people who wish that they were the first lady, they will continue to die in their jealousy. Please, Marian Heather, what do you have to say about our first lady's birthday today? Please go ahead.
I believe I'll be representing many, if not all, genuine core heart friends. I just want to say a hearty, happy birthday to her. I want her to know that we have her in our minds. We may never understand what she's going through, but we can imagine. So we want her to know that we're praying for her health, that of her children. We are praying for her sanity. We continue to pray that God will continue to strengthen her each and every minute of her life. We want her to know that we are doing everything, fighting, and will continue to fight until her husband, our able leader, Ohamadike, is released into her woman hands so that she can comfort him for us. So we want her to know that. So we celebrate with her. We know it may not be a true celebration for her because of the mood of things going on, but we still want her to understand that even though we are aware of that, we wish her that she'll find a way at least to make today special for herself and for the children. So again, happy birthday to you, our queen, to you, our first lady, true first lady, genuine lady, with every level of integrity, strong. Why am I raining this adulation on her? I, for one, is that kind of person that if somebody does what I cannot do, I bow my heart for them. I tell you, women like her are rare. They are rare gem. Women who can withstand the pressure of what she's been going through. This is not the first time. And there was a place, there was one broadcast she made. I believe it was the first time Mazi was, or the second time Mazi was incarcerated. They asked her, what do you think? Do you think that your husband, when he comes out, he will continue with this agitation? She said, I tell you, I'm paraphrasing, even though I'm trying to quote her. She said, let me tell you, knowing my husband, if anybody tells you that he will give up, that means the person doesn't know him. So, why am I bringing this particular broadcast of hers? When I watched it, I bowed for her. My heart melted for her. Because I put that question back to myself. Can I do this? Can I knowingly or be aware that this is the chart or the path my husband have taken? And knowing the difficulties, knowing what are involved, that I may lose him any minute, or he may be incarcerated for life. And this is somebody you love, genuinely love. I ask myself that question because I know a lot of people might be acting like it's not important. If you put this question to many women, even men, they cannot answer it, because the truth is that most of them would have abandoned Mazi. Even if they don't literally abandon Mazi, their behaviors will showcase. Their support with them, maybe like, that's not what I signed up for. So that is why, if people have not seen it, go back, Google it, you'll see that interview. I think she had it with BBC. So this woman is real. So that is why when I hear some people like Master Prophet coming out to claim he's standing for Mazi. He lost Mazi. Oh, they want to overthrow Mazi. Oh, I'm fighting to retain Mazi project. Oh, I'm fighting to retain what Mazi has built. His family is the first thing he built. Mazi's family, his wife and children, anybody that lost Mazi should be the first thing you must make sure that they are okay.
Exactly.
We are talking about emotions. Can we imagine how many sleepless nights this woman have had? Can anybody imagine how many pillowcases she has soiled with her tears? Can you imagine? Put yourself in her shoes. How many times her children will come to her and say, "Mommy, where is our dad?" She has to provide them with answers. Correct, right answers. That she will give these children that will not destroy them psychologically or mess them up emotionally, but at the same time not lying to them. She has to walk this fine line. These are one or two things this woman is dealing with. I am speaking from somebody outside. I am not inside. That's why I use the word imagine. I'm imagining. Only her knows. And somebody is coming on social media because you have access to social media talking about you want to protect Mazi's interest. This is the real Mazi's interest. Exactly. His family. Because this woman and her children and their children are the ones that will carry the bloodline of Mazi, of Hamadike, the legacy of Hamadike when it comes to genetics. After this woman and her children, the next important thing to Mazi is Biafran Project, IPOB. And when you come there, you're speaking about leadership. The structure he left behind until he comes out. Now, the same people that are touting on social media how much they love Mazi, how much they want to protect Mazi's legacy, how much, because everything they're talking about is money. I happened to go on their platform today. I didn't even see any congratulatory message to this woman. The heart of Mazi. You know, when I speak one or two reasons why I left religion, people may never understand me. And again, I'm not asking anybody to follow my footsteps because it was my own decision based on my own experiences. They say two will become one. This one is half of Mazi. Mazi is half of this woman. Without Mazi, this woman is not complete when it comes to emotions, when it comes to family, when it comes to humanity. And you're telling me you love Mazi. And yet, the better part of Mazi, you don't give a hoot, you don't give a damn. What do you mean by love? That was the same thing I asked. He continued to reference about the palace. He continued to reference, trying to whip emotions for people to be fighting each other about Mazi's dead parents. My question, are you still there? Because I'm not seeing your camera.
Go on. I'm just refreshing.
Okay. So my argument I asked him the other day, Master Prophet, are you trying to tell me now you love Mazi, but you don't love Mazi's wife, but you love Mazi's parents? You cannot do that. You cannot. As Mazi is a continuation of the legacy of his parents, so are the children produced by Mazi and his wife the continuation of Mazi's legacy. So how can you love the father, you don't love the son? And how can you love the son, you can't love the father? But I just want to stop there when it comes to this. So our queen, great woman, and you know, another thing that I found out today, she happens to be an August woman. What do I mean? She's born in August. I'm a lioness too. I'm born in August. Women, August women are great, strong women. When I found out yesterday that her birthday, I said, no wonder. She was already wired for greatness. She was already wired to carry this load. Am I saying it's a good thing? I don't know, but there are strong women. Go and check any woman or any man born in August. What I'm finding out that you have more women born, I think it's you have more women born in August than men. I think so. I don't know, but let me not go there. I'm not dealing with spiritual thing now, but
Don't take it
go
right
and check
now.
them.
We have more men. Don't take it.
You have more
We
men.
have,
Okay,
we
I'll give
have
it to
more
you.
men.
Well,
Don't
yes,
steal
let
it
me give it to
from
you. You
me
have more men.
now.
Then you know what it means then? Because anything that is scarce or rare are more appreciated. Let me twist it for you. So if you have more men than women born in August, that means these August women are the real deal because you have
No,
lesser of them, you have more of them, When you come to
for
this,
the sake of our queen
hold on,
lady,
let me finish.
for
I'm
the
going to
sake
shut
of
up.
our
When you
queen
come
lady,
to
we have more men,
the
please.
law of supply and demand, that's what I'm applying to your head right now.
We have more men, please.
Okay, my brother, I'm just trying to put some humor into it. So,
Yeah.
when something is rare, that is when you hike the price. It calls ostentation. That's how you come to the word of ostentation. When something is rare, the way you preserve it is you make it expensive so that less people will have it. You have to struggle to have it. So
Yes.
that's where I'm going. So, but in general, people born in August are strong individuals. I'm not discounting other people. This is my own take because I'm one of them. That's how I'm going to present it. So
We
let's
are
forge
lion.
ahead with what we're going to do. So, my dear, I will call you my sister. I will call you our queen. I call you Alolo. Again, happy birthday. Find a way to make good of this situation. We all, especially you, find ourselves. Continue to pray. By this time next year, you're going to have a more happier, robust, genuine birthday because I'm believing that our Hamadike will be out then. Probably we'll all throw
Definitely.
a party and gather wherever you guys are and enjoy with you. Thank you so much.
Definitely. And I join suit with all your commentaries. I join suit. I don't want to talk much on it, but our first lady, we acknowledge you. We know it is not a happy occasion, but we are, celebrating you because it is actually something that can never, be we can never shy away from. We celebrate you, we acknowledge you, we also, acknowledge your strong woman that you are, that you've been there for our Homadike, because if not your support that you've been giving to our Ohamadike, I don't think women they have the strength to stop this type of, calling. Women they have the strength to do that, but you never ever try to do that. But you've been giving him your support, and that is the same support we are here to give you this evening. You have all our support in the absence and whenever of our Ohamadike, you will have our support. So, great Biafrans, say happy birthday to you, and we will continue to celebrate you. And we'll know that very soon, our Ohamadike, the supreme leader, when the enemy hear us calling supreme leader, they get so jealous and they get so mad. So that is the reason why I will continue to say our supreme leader, your dear lovely husband, will be joining us soon. And his release, I know it is imminent. So thank you very much for all your support towards our leader and your family. Yeah, we know that in this difficult time, you might find it difficult to survive in this time where the family are being absent-minded, selfish, and doing all sort of things. Because just like our sister Marien Heather said, that she went to the platforms of all these people to check if they indeed acknowledge you that today is your special day, and none of them did. I quickly navigated into those platforms and I did not see anything with regards to the celebration of our first lady. That means that our sister Marien Heather is correct. And you will come to see all these people acting and behaving as if they love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But it is now very clear what they love instead of what they preach. They love themselves, they love their pocket, they love to be relevant, and they are power mongers. That is exactly whom they are. And that is the reason why they will not recognize that the better half of our Ohamadike, their brother, is having a birthday today. Even if they don't celebrate it, wishing it, there is no harm in that. So we have seen how they love Ohamadike, because time always tell exactly what we want to know. And this time just told us that these people, they don't care about Ohamadike. They just care about their status and the money. That is the reason why they align with money, and they are trying to defend their alliance with money and all that. And we will continue to expose them because they have started exposing themselves. So, Marien Heather, let me start from there. My first question to you: what do you think is the reason why these people did not care to celebrate our mother and the first lady? Does it mean that they are also fighting with her, or does it mean that some of them, I don't know how do I put it, because you cannot tell me you don't like your brother's better half because of what? Does it mean that these people, they are fighting anybody that might know every activities of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or what happened to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or maybe anybody that is like a beacon standing for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? What do you think is the reason why these people are doing this?
That's a very good question. This is how I'm going to navigate it. There is something you call abuse. There are different reasons why somebody can be abusing somebody. Sometimes we call it abuse. Sometimes what generates that could be jealousy, envy. Because you ask yourself, why would somebody just say that to abuse another person when they have no physical altercation or anything you can think about? Somebody begins to borrow, because when you talk about abuse, they come in different forms. You could be disparaging you, talking down on you, trying to make people not believe that you are who you are, or they can physically abuse you or curse you or call you names. The argument becomes why? Because they don't like you. They hate your guts. They hate whatever you stand for. The argument becomes why? So it's like going back again. But let me answer your question. What it tells me is this: whatever is happening did not start today. So I'm going to put it this way. When you pay attention to the one or two qualities of Mazi or Amadike, Mazi has a lot of empathy for his fellow human being. That's really why he's in this fight. Your listeners, even you, if you can, go online now and Google the word altruistic character. Altruistic. People that have this behavior are those who are willing to sacrifice themselves so that others may live. That they have altruistic behavior. People can say that to you: I'm willing to die for you. I can do this. That is talk. There is something in America we said, when the rubber meets the road, when the chips are down, then you will know. So people with this altruistic behavior or character are those, they don't just say it. They are willing to lay everything, including their life, down for the betterment of other people. They are the true advocates. That's one of the qualities of Mazi. When you understand this, then you will understand that he's not doing this thing for any personal benefit. In fact, he cannot help himself from doing what he's doing for the liberation of his people. But unfortunately, some people around him don't understand this quality of man. They think he's like them, who do the talk, but they don't do the do's. That's why you have these saboteurs. That's why you have all these gang-ups. I know I've digressed a little bit. I'm going to come back, but I'm laying this foundation so that people can really get insight to my answer to the question you asked me. So you may be of the same parents. That does not mean you have the same quality personalities. In Igbo, we say ofunne namu, but owu ofu Chineke.
Yes.
Because your personalities are one wired through some are genetic. Most of them are your environment and your mental ability, how your mind was developed. Your emotions carry you. Like I said, what I did here is not about spiritualism. I know I said, Mazi, was born, Mazi's wife, I thank God she's born in August. I had a comment with, the person say she's a Virgo. I was not doing horoscope. I don't do horoscope. What I do is more detailed than horoscope. So I know by horoscope she's a Virgo, but what I'm doing, what I said it has nothing to do with horoscope. But anyway, so when everybody, even though you're of the same parents, you have your personality adjustment. That's what it's called. You may have similarities as people from the same family, but your qualities are not the same. Secondly, Mazi is the firstborn. A lot is expected from him, from our culture. As the first son or the first child, you're supposed to oversee. So now, being that Mazi naturally has been wired to be somebody that has a lot of empathy for his fellow human being. You can call him Ochiro Ozo. It's important to him that everybody around him is okay. And then personality adjustment, he has this altruistic behavior, character, wired in him. Were you able to lift it up? That altruistic behavior, character? Did you look for it? No, not yet. Okay. I thought you were going to read it for people. So now.
Oh, for me to look it up.
Yeah, read it for your people.
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Now, what is going on is Mazi has this personality. What is telling me now, when you look at the behaviors of members of his family, his siblings, they don't have the same quality, this quality he has. That's the difficulty there. And for Mazi to be able to carry out this burning desire, this quality, to be able to express his potential, his inner potential, which is this altruistic quality, he needs somebody who can understand, somebody who can understand his mission, and that is this woman. So what is telling me that Mazi's siblings do not understand Mazi's mission. They think that Mazi is in this thing to make money, to make a name for himself, for personal, gain. So when this woman came inside the family, she becomes a perfect ally of Mazi. Let me go back to why I use the word abuse. When somebody wants to abuse you, that's how you know an abuser. The first thing they'll do, they try to isolate you from those who can defend you. That's the first mission, even in relationship. Once you get into a relationship and the person, let me put it this way, the person knows that you're somebody that likes to have friends, you have friends, genuine friends. And the person knows you like to go out, you like to talk. And the person comes into your life, whether it's a male or female, the first thing they start telling you, I don't want you to be hanging around your friends. Pay attention, that person is an abuser. That's their first game. They want to isolate you so that when they start dealing with you, you have nobody to help you out. That's what they're trying to do with this woman. They believe she's the last defense for Mazi. And they know she's a strong character. She's a strong quality in a good way. As long as she's with Mazi, they cannot have their way. to manipulate Mazi for their personal gain. So what do? That is why they hate her. I don't know her, but judging or watching what is happening, there could be no other reason than this. That's why they hate her. Because to them, she is the Agada Churuzo to their personal gain. That is why you can never hear them speak good of her. They can't even tell her happy birthday. They can't even wish her well. If possible, if Mazi can be manipulated, they will tell Mazi to divorce her, because they're looking for somebody who can come in, become their ally, to enable them to walk through Mazi's emotions and let this struggle becomes a family business. That's what is going on here. I don't know whether I answered your question. I can't hear you.
I think you did answer the question, and you stretched it as well. Thank you for that wonderful analysis. You talk about altruistic behavior and altruism.
Yes.
It says if we want to define altruism, it talks about refer to behavior that benefits others, other individual at the cost to oneself.
Yes.
It's like handing your lunch over to someone even though you are hungry.
Yes.
It's a kind of a selfless person.
Yes.
Yes.
Rare people. Once in a while, nature will throw them into the society. People like Gandhi, even from my school of thought, one of the school of thought I belong to, that's how they qualify Yeshua, whom they call Jesus.
Exactly. That's what he is.
That's how they qualify him. So once in a while, you will see nature will throw these people to be able to accomplish a purpose for a society or a community. Mazi is on a mission. What I'm doing now, I'm trying to use secular understanding to explain it, because if I go into spiritual understanding, it's going to be a whole lot. Let's leave it there. I just want to stay on the secular understanding of it.
They are referred to as unequally human.
Yes. That is why when you see people coming and trying to worship Mazi, they don't know what they're doing. What do I mean? Not that they're doing the bad thing, but they don't know what is motivating them. There is something, the energy in the man. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm beginning to get into the spiritual thing. I'm going to back off, because when you bring this thing in a church setting, that's when they will tell you he has an anointing. Is the energy in him. It draws people to you. It draws people to you. People get intoxicated because they are seeing, they're feeling the quality in you. They know you're genuine. There was a statement I made a few weeks ago. When people don't understand what I'm talking about, they think they can be copycats. That's what Takano tried to do. And I said that he was rejected immediately because he doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't have that quality. He doesn't have that altruistic personality adjustment. He doesn't have it. When you have this, what Mazi has, somebody else may get up to do the same thing. People will reject the individual.
Just like in Finland.
But in his own case, it's effortless because that's who he is. That's the mission he has come to accomplish. Rare people have it. Rare. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you very much. And you nailed it there, because if you look at it, people might even try to do what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or claim to do what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was doing, because of this behavior, this altruistic behavior or altruism that is in Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
It's a character. With what I do, the school of thought I belong will qualify it as his qualities.
It's inborn.
It's a character. Yeah,
it's something inborn that he does not even
know. It's
inherent
in him. It's inherent.
Yes. So And many people who are coming, claiming, and trying to behave as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu does not know that that altruism is the only reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu does not need to act like anybody,
No,
or he doesn't need to struggle to be
he doesn't
himself.
have to struggle. In fact, that if he doesn't do it, nature will punish
Will
him.
exactly. That's the
So
way it
to
is.
him, it's like a hunger in his belly. He can't control himself.
Yes.
And that is where he's drawing his strength. Ask yourself, why has he not given up? You think he enjoys going into the prison? You think he enjoys going into the dungeon? You
Living
think
his family
he's not
life.
aware he's going to be there? But he cannot help himself.
That is
Everybody
part
has
of
their
him.
own potential. This is his own potential. He's expressing it. Thank God for the kind of woman that's by his side, allowing him to express the main purpose he's on this earth. Let me tell you something, then I'm going to let you go ahead until I can come in. My brother, there's an adage in our place that no man or woman should count themselves lucky until you get married.
Exactly.
Because when you marry somebody who does not believe on the same thing, the main quality, the main character, the main reason why you're on this earth, they can destroy your potential from flowing. If you go to Bible, it's there. At the end of the day, God is not going to ask you, well, I'm sorry, it was my wife. No, he said, I gave it to you. What did you do with the seed I gave into you? You can check it out in the book of Luke. The parable of the three servants, they were given gifts. The one that buried his own, he was not spared. It doesn't matter his reasons. It was given to him to express it, to use it. So people you come into contact, especially your spouses, can help to express your potential or can help to destroy it. At the fullness of time, God is going to require it from you, not my spouse, not my brother, not my friends. This is powerful. I'm just bringing a little bit of spiritual lesson here. Like I said, our ancestors did not know Yeshua, but they knew how to worship. They were in tune with nature. They know a lot. They knew a lot. Your spouse can determine how far you go in life. This woman did not come into Maz's life to destroy his potential. She came in to help him accomplish it. That is what these forces are fighting against. And that is why they must be stopped. If you love Mazi, if you truly love Mazi, they must be stopped.
Definitely. They are going to be stopped. And they are stopped already. Because as long as we continue to expose all their lies, just like they will come and tell you that Mazi say you should stop fighting each other, you should go and settle it behind the closed door, which was a lie. So thank you very much for that great one, which you have given to our people. And then we have to move from here, because I believe we have given our people, our mommy, we will say, our first lady, our queen, we have given her that honor that she deserves. We don't care about who is crying. We don't care about who is crying. She still stands as a beacon of light, that's before our leader, and we will continue to support them. So, Marien Heather, I am very, very happy that you joined this program this evening. I've been trying to bring you to this program, but all the same, there is something that made us to come into this program this evening. We might come back to this altruism and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Yeshua. We might come back to it very towards the ending of this program, but let's touch on these things that is very, very necessary. There is this issue in our land, and there is this proclamation issued by IPOB, DOS, in the name of Mazi Chinasanworu. He talked about burial in 3 days, that it is very, very necessary that our people learn to bury their loved ones, immediately. If you take long, you take 3 days to bury our loved ones. And then, having seen all this shenanigan that the autopilot criminal syndicate, how they are going about this information, about this proclamation, saying that it is Kuwaitian law, which is the Islamic law that Mazi China Sanworu is bringing to our people. Please, Marian Heather, regard, what do you think about our people burying their loved ones on time? Is it necessary? Is it a good thing in your own, wisdom?
Okay,
What do you
my
think
brother.
about it? Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, my brother. Quickly, like you said, we try. We talked about this because I saw one or two postings Ekperima did talking about that Chinas and Wuru is trying to force people or institute Muslim laws. Now, first of all, I'm going to start by this. I've always called him a compound fool. There's a reason why I say that. I'm not just saying it to derogate him. I'm not saying it to, bale bono. I mean it. This guy is a compound fool. And why do I continue to call him that? At least if you don't know something, go and research on it. Do your research. Are you still there? Mazi, are you there? Hello? Mazi George Money. Mazi George Money, are you there? What happened? Mazi, are you there? I can't hear you. Hello?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I am
happened?
listening to you.
Okay.
I
At
refreshed
least
the
you,
network because
text
we are
me
having a
if you're listening, I
constant.
can continue talking instead of. Okay. So, what I was saying.
Continue talking.
Okay. Even if you don't know anything, go and do something called research. That's why I call him a compound fool. It's good enough for somebody to be stupid or uninformed. But it's worse when you don't even want to find your facts and you carry your crazy self on social media, where what you say will never be retrieved. I call social media black hole. Once it goes in there, you may never be able to retrieve it. Even if you delete it from your end, somewhere, it is there. That's one of the stupid things some criminals don't understand, especially in America here. They will go and commit a crime all over with their laptop and their desktops, whatever. And then when they will go and scrub it, ABI will come in, they will find information that's saved in the cloud. I don't know much about computer, but I can tell you a little bit I know. They will still retrieve the information. So, going to the question of experiment. Thank God for Steve Jobs, the inventor of iPhone, who revolutionized this thing we call phone. Now in your house, you have what you call Google. We call it grandfather. That's what we call it. Another name we call Google in America. In our place, we say that the words of the elders are the words of wisdom. Not these elders we're having these days. When you have phone, you have the whole world in your hand. This guy will not do any research. He comes out and be running his mouth. First of all, the Muslim bury within 24 hours. In fact, if a Muslim dies in the morning, you will bury the person before the sun sets.
Exactly.
The only reason the person can stay the next day is if the person died at the middle of the night, you must marry before the other sunset.
Or if they need to conduct a post-mortem.
Even they will fight you. And that post-mortem will be in Western civilization, in their own place. There's nothing like that. That is where it is their own Sharia law. There's nothing like that. So what does it mean? They trying to take us to Sharia law? So that one is completely stupid statement he made. That told me this guy does not even do his research. Common thing to do. So, but let's go to our people. Because before we started this program, you're still hearing me, right?
Go ahead, I'm hearing you.
Because I'm reading something from it. Before I went and did 1 or 2 researches. And let us see the cultural perspective, how we were burying people. In the olden days, he said, the burial process for a member of the Igbo group comes in 2 parts. I'm reading from Google. The actual burial for Igbo people is broken into 2 separate parts. The first burial is traditionally the lesser of the 2. It is a short service used primarily for short-term mourning. This is the ceremony where the physical body or simulacrum, such as the lock of hair, is physically buried in the hometown of the departed. This service is held primarily for mourning, and during this service, the departed is often buried with personal effect that they can take into the underworld and onward in distant transmission. Okay, why did I bring this? If you go on to read this, you will see that it's telling you exactly what Mazi proposed. That was our way. When I'm calling for us to, I'm one of those that is proposing for cultural revolution. There were things in our cultures that were okay. There were things that were not okay. But let us encourage ourselves and continue with things that are okay. I'm going to bring my argument why what Mazi said, I'm in agreement with it. And why I'm against this idiot, because he couldn't even do his research. In those days, when somebody dies within 3 days, they quickly bury the person. Then they can go ahead and plan no Otiizu. If you calculate what Otiizu is. And you know, there was a time I did a research on that Izu thing. Do you know that if you calculate, if you use our old way of, that is 4 market days, right, to calculate the rotation of the earth on the sun, you have only an hour short of having it correct. An hour compared with the 7 days thing. If you take 4 days, multiply it by 7, it's so easy, 28 days. That is what 1 lunar is, 28 days. I'm bringing this a little because to let us know how good our ancestors were in things like this. When we're talking about spiritual things, when we're talking about cosmology and all that. But we're not going there now. So, Otiizu, or when they will come, because by then the body must have blown and decayed, and most of the time the grave was sinking. Now they will come again and put more sand on it. If the people have money, they can do the real okoko, which is the real funeral ceremony. And if the family do not have money that time, they can always do it later. Why is it important? Let's go there to tell you how smart our ancestors were and what Mazi Nworu was referencing to or advising us to go back. Do you know now, when you embalm people, do people really know what embalmment fluids are? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? I'm asking you.
Say again.
The embalmment fluids that are used to preserve the dead bodies.
Fluids, yeah.
Yeah, the process of embalmment.
Mm. You say
Those
if I have,
chemicals that you use in preserving the dead body. Let me go back a little bit. You know, in America here, because my mother died here, so that gave you opportunity to learn a lot about burial processes in America. America do not do hard embalmment, what they call hard one. It doesn't matter how much you want to pay them. That's the law. A body cannot stay more than certain times. 2 weeks, they start giving you a headache to come and remove that dead body, or you start even paying more. And even the 2 weeks is some of us that have, want to take the body back home. They give you that, they want to bury immediately. Because of that, they don't do what you call hard embalmment. Even if after everything we beg them, the funeral home say we're going to do the best we can. But we want to warn you, once this body is lifted, is airborne, it's going to collapse under pressure.
yes.
She will thaw. That was what happened. So even before we could take my mother back home, we already made an arrangement for another funeral home there. She was moved from airport straight to the morgue. Then Nigerians are the things that do hard embalmment. The question is, what are the things needed to do this hard embalmment to keep the person to stay this long? That's what we're talking about here. These are hazardous chemicals. Formalin is with the major embalming solution. Formalin, some people call it formalin, and other harsh chemicals. So now you finish it, and then the person is going to put in a casket that is made of metal, and you put this person into the ground. Those hard substances get absorbed into the ground. Now let me pass, and then we're going to plant our food. Remember, we don't have cemeteries yet. It's not a common thing. We may have, but it's not a common thing. We bury within ourselves, in our compounds. In the same ground is where you're going to plant your food. Because let me tell you another thing about nature.
In the same ground, you're going to dig borehole.
A borehole. I'm coming there. you just took it from me. There's something about nature. Nature, everything about nature is a cycle. When we are born, the ground feeds us. Because everything we consume, that primary producers, that's the grasses. That the first thing they feed the animal will feed us when you go through the food chain. So they are the ground give us the primary, the first thing that give us the primary producers. Now, so the ground will feed you and I when we're alive. And the expectation is when we die, we feed the ground back. Because when we decay, when we go through decomposition, we're enriching the ground. But in this case now, we're enriching the ground with contaminated food. I'm going to plant on the same ground. We're going to dig boreholes on the same ground. Have you asked yourself the kind of diseases we're having here in Nigeria, in Africa? Cancer has become rampant. Liver failure, kidney disease. They were not like that before. Something is wrong somewhere. Even when you look at our farms, they're not yielding crops like they used to. Because we are polluting them. These metals, especially cascade from America, are sealed. They are metals. It takes them time to break down. The metal itself are coated with paint and other things. Harmful substances too. We live there. And we are complaining. In America here, anywhere you have cemetery, You can never dig a borehole because even the water supply we have, they recycle them, they treat them, okay? And they put them in a borehole and then distribute it to the tanks and distribute to the system. It doesn't come from the river straight. So, but there's an EPA law within 100 or 300 miles or whatever meters, I don't know, I can't quote off here, but about 300 miles or meters, wherever a burial ground is, you can never dig a borehole. You see the difference? We have no regulations. And we are following them, doing their thing. We go and drink the same water. Even that borehole water, they are not being treated, the one we drink. Because now, you know, water is a business in Nigeria. Everybody is selling pure water, selling bottled water. Do they treat it? No. Probably where somebody was, people were buried, that's where they're going to dig the borehole. So
the same place where there is soccer way.
Yes. So what I'm bringing out here are some of the reasons why Mazi was or is proposing this thing for our own health benefit. But in the olden days, they were burying with what? Even before the casket came out, they were burying with mat, ute, banana leaves. Because these things are degradable. They're called biodegradables. So they're not constituting any kind of toxin
Pollution
into the system, into the ground. You hardly heard about erosion in those days. You hardly heard about the kind of diseases. Today, if you go to our communities, I remember when I was growing up, anytime we went home, my father went on vacation, we called, but it was called leave. My father went on leave. We will follow other kids in the village, learning how to catch grasshoppers, how to catch snails. You can't even see snails today, especially the small ones called orilla. Why? We are destroying our ecosystem. These things are part of our ecosystem. They have the role they play. The snails are there to enrich the ground. Even igide, they are there to enrich the ground for the next cultivation. They have their own. They break the ground for it to air. I'm not going into farming, but we're going to bring these things in a little bit. These poisons we are putting in the air, on the ground, in the name of burial or preservation, are destroying our ecosystem, creating erosion and other things, sicknesses, because we are consuming them. In fact, as I went on to dig into this thing, on the research of this program, do you know there are countries already going into what our ancestors did? I meant to say, they are now beginning to manufacture caskets with cardboards and raffias. Okay, let me tell you one of the benefits this thing can bring. Not only is it going to save lives, not only is it going to save us from all these diseases. We're talking about jobs. Job creation comes from the mind. We have the raw materials to make ute. How many people make ute today?
Zero.
We don't have to bury with practical ute. Why can't somebody come up with the concept and use that material, the raffia, to come up, manufacture a casket with lining inside, make it beautiful? One, is biodegradable. Two, we're saving the environment. Three, we are creating jobs. Why can't we think in this way? Why are we always trying to be consumers, not producers, where we have the raw materials? It's not still going to stop the funeral homes from making their money. Because when somebody dies, you're not going to put the person in the house. You're going to take the person to the funeral home. But what Mazi was proposing, or is proposing, is to cut down the amount of time that you have people in the morgues. And then reduce all these diseases that can be prevented. Because for you to keep somebody in the morgue beyond certain time, that is when you start going to this hard mummification. That's what he was talking about. We used to be known as yam cultivators. We used to be known as cassava, farmers. Where are we getting them from now? From the north. Ask yourself, what is one element different from them and us, especially the Muslim-dominated northern part of the country? They have more land than we are, but they don't go into hard mummification. So when they die, they put the person in the ground. The person does what? Enriches the ground for cultivation. We are sterilizing our own ground. We are killing ourselves. We are creating all these diseases. And we're not asking questions. That's what I believe Mazi was trying to promote. It's not about Muslim. It has nothing to do with any religion. It has to do with the welfare of the society. I'm going to yield for now. And let me see what you bring on.
Okay. It is you touched so many things, and then you stretch the analysis to the where it is destroying our ecosystem, to how it is destroying our farming. And when you brainstorm around this, you will very definitely understand that what you are saying is absolutely the truth. And this is something that we need to bring out time to navigate. This topic is not a topic that we need to join with any other topic, because you stretch the topic, you actually made it broad, and you touched in so many areas, which very, very important, that we need to come back to it. But with regards to what you just answered, there is one place, one area that I want you to touch again. Why do you think that Simon Ekpa tried to confuse the narrative? What do you think is the reason why Simon Ekpa came to say, otherwise, with regards to something that will help our people to thrive, with regard to something that will help our people to save themselves from wasteful expenditure, with regards to something that will make our people start remembering whom they are, that we do while others learn from us? Why do you think he is actually trying to make people not to follow it? Does it mean because he does not have anything to offer and he becomes jealous sometimes when this DOS has been fighting are coming up with significant approach that will help our people? Or does it mean he is ignorant? Or does it mean that he is just a Fulani boy who never wished any good of our people? Please, I want you to just use a little time to just answer me this, please.
Yeah, Mazi, it goes back to, again, when I started, I said there's a reason why I call him a compound fool. I'm not saying it because I hate him. I'm not saying it because I want to be derogatory to him. It's just an observation I have made and realized that that's a perfect name for him. It's going back to the question you asked. I'm going to use it to answer the question, because this is the behavior. One of the behaviors is panning out there. When you don't like, if I don't like you, right? There are people who behave that way. And it's because of the quality of their mind, okay? Just because they don't like you, it doesn't matter what you do. They will find a way to, discredit you. Just because they don't like you. You have them in you have them in every society. Let me put it where you can see it very prevalent is in political parties. When your opponent is saying something is correct, is doing the right thing, you will come out to find a way to, especially in America here, you will come out to find a way to discredit that individual. It is only those who have a strong mind, those who are objective, will critically look at that and say, no, man, this is not right. I agree with the individual, even though I don't like the person. That's the behavior of Ekperima. Ekperima has made himself to be an enemy of the movement of IPOB. So from his little mind, how can he support any project or proposal they bring out, even when he knows it's true? That's why he's doing it. He knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows what he's saying is wrong, even though he's a compound fool. Because you don't have to say, put your mouth in everything. Those ones you know, you don't want to promote it because it's not going to work for you, whatever your agenda is. You keep quiet. That's what is called wisdom. He lacks content. So he has to find something to continue to feed his gullible. Because he has made it a point of duty to be coming online every day, 2-3 times a day. He has set that standard. So his followers are expecting that from him. That is why somebody like me always tell people, don't start what you cannot finish. Starting something is not the problem. It's finishing it. But some of our people are good in embarking on a project where they have not done their homework. Even their Bible, the Bible said, a wise man do not start building a house before first counting the cost. You want to fight IPOB, you want to fight DOS, because you had 1 or 2 people working with you from inside then. You have people like Madam Erewa giving you information. You have people like Madam Bridget Nelly supporting you. You came out swinging yourself. You want to fight. You want to fight the giant, DOS. Something that has a structure, established, worldwide, have men and women of caliber in them. And you have nothing. You have no structure. You came from nowhere. You want to fight them because you had 1 or 2 idiots supporting you. And all IPOB did through their media warrior was just to swing 1 stone at them. They scattered. So now he's left alone. But meanwhile, he has set a standard for his people. So somehow he has to be coming out and dishing out this foolishness. By the way, didn't he say he's a lawyer? When does he have time to practice? Even if he's not a lawyer, even if he's working, the argument or the question, when does he go to work? Did you see how long you and I have been talking to have this program? What was the delay? My schedule. We were supposed to have it yesterday. I woke up late. Was it not? True. Even the fundraising we had yesterday, I came an hour late. I apologize to them. I overslept. So when does Ekperima do this, his job is doing? So that is why he's doing it, my brother. He has lacked content. He has positioned himself to be an opposition to anything DOS or IPOB under the leadership of Mazi. Whatever they do, he has to find a way to counter the narrative. But he doesn't understand, the more he does that, the lesser he looks for people like me. He looks more stupid because he's making a lot of mistakes. The more you expose yourself in something, if you're not careful, you're not grounded, if you're not well grounded, you'll be making a lot of mistakes. That's what he's doing. Because he lacks content. Why would he come out and say that this is Muslim thing? He should have gone and read Quran first and realized that no, it's not, it has nothing to do with Muslims. This is not even their own. In fact, Muslims, if they hear this, they'll be mad at him. Because according to the Muslim, it's abomination to leave a dead body 24 hours. You can't do that.
It's haram. It's not even a Muslim culture. It's not a Muslim. It's not only a Muslim culture to bury a dead body immediately. Remember, during the time of crusade, they went into the land of Israel. They conquered it. They learned they learned the culture and they followed it. Because if you go to Jerusalem, that is exactly where God's, where you will see a place where God's name is placed, in Jerusalem. Now, when they conquered that land, they learned the culture of the land. Remember that Nigeria Muslim, they might not be circumcised, but the real Muslims, they get circumcised immediately
Mhm.
after birth. Do you know that?
Yes.
So, but it is only in Nigeria that you find Muslims that don't get circumcised.
Mhm.
But the real Muslim from the Middle East, everywhere, they get circumcised immediately after birth. And we get circumcised 8 days after birth. Now, you now coming to understand this law of burying somebody immediately. It is not just a Muslim law. It is something that is very, very important, even to the Israelites.
Okay. Let me tell you, my brother. Let me ask you a question as you continue.
Okay.
Muslims and Arabs and Jews, what is the difference between them when it comes to genealogy, lineage, genetics?
If I understand your question with regards, I will say that when you talk about Muslim are this tribe. I can say that they are tribe.
The
They are
Arabs.
they are Arabics.
The Arabs. The Muslim religion started from the Arab. Muslim. That's where it started. Arabia.
Yeah, but
So
if we want to go deep, if we want to
yes,
go stretch it deep into the Bible context, they are the ones who are seen as the wanderers.
that's who they. That's why Abraham left. Remember where he was.
Yes, it
He
was.
left there and moved.
Yes, they are
Okay,
wanderers,
they're wanderers.
and
Okay,
they are
so
all seed of Abraham. We
well, you
are.
can even that you're starting from there. But where I'm
Yes,
going is this Abraham that invoking came from all. That's where he came from.
yes,
Because people want to tell the story of Israel and all that as they came from nowhere. They came from there. He was a wanderer. He continued to wander until they settled. If you want to follow the biblical chronology, Abraham was the father of Muslims and Christians.
the
That is why
nation.
even in Quran you see him there. Is he not the father of Ishmael? Was he not?
He is. He is.
Ishmael Muhammad was a descendant of Ishmael.
Mm.
Now we're talking about culture. The argument why I asked that question is the culture and the religion, which one came first? It was the culture.
The culture, religion just came
It just came.
725 AD, 700 AD.
There was one time I had a debate with a Muslim. He was trying to convert me. That time I was still a Christian, practicing Christian. He was trying to convert me. But by the time we finished, he gave me a book to start writing things for him. He wasn't for conversion. I asked him a question. He was trying to I said, wait a minute. Ishmael was the son of Abraham. He said yes. Because it's in their Quran. I read the Quran. I said, okay. Did Ishmael practice Muslim religion or did he practice Judaism? He started looking at me. He started looking at me. He couldn't answer it. I said, answer it because you know the answer. Because Ishmael was never a Muslim. Because there was never a Muslim religion at the time he lived.
There was never religion.
Abraham worshiped with Yahweh.
Yes.
Okay? So I leave it there.
But that was not a religion.
It was a religion. Religion is religion.
I think in that context of Abraham worshiping with Yahweh, the religion, I think it started when Muhammad and Jesus Christ, arrived.
No. Buddhism, Judaism you're talking about, was it not a religion? Is it not a
Judaism,
religion?
remember,
Judaism is a religion. That is what they practice. That's what they practice.
They practice these things, but not Judaism. You know, this religion is something that came in after during the time of crusade. Crusaders came with their different ideology.
My dear brother, anything that is ritual is religion. It's a way of trying to, you can check, you can Google the meaning of religion. But let's not, I'm trying to bring something. My argument is what I'm trying to bring is that Ishmael was never a Muslim. That's my argument I'm bringing here.
He's never a Muslim. He's never a
Okay.
Muslim nor Christian.
He was never, neither of them. As a
Yes.
matter of fact, if you go and read your Bible, let me call attention of Christians. But when I give you, I cite you. Go and read your Bible. When Hagar, who was the maid of Abraham, twice she was in the wilderness. She was sent away. Okay? And each time the angel of the Lord appeared to her, they will tell you that she prayed to the God of her master. Her master was Abraham. There was no Muslim because Muhammad came many years through the lineage of Ishmael. And he was the one that started this Mohammedanism, which you call Muslim religion. So if we want to talk about this thing, Ishmael was never a Muslim. I don't know why Muslims are claiming him. He never worshipped there as a Muslim. Just like the same thing I tell people, Yeshua was never a Christian. He was never. Hey, so let's not digress. I don't want to get into spiritual thing, but
Christianity appeared in Acts of Apostles in Antioch just yesterday. In Antioch, it was after the death of Christ they created it.
It was many years, not just after, many years, about 500 years, even before they started gathering together to begin to come as one people. Those people who are, and they were not even calling themselves Christians. They were Yeshua followers, but let's not digress. That's not where, but I'm just trying to bring something up. What I'm trying to bring up is culture has always been there because of the example you cited. That is why you see the Jews, you see the Samaritans, you see people in Arab who are Muslims, but are still circumcising because they are following the values, the culture of their ancestor. When you mention, what is it called? Abraham.
Yes.
That's what they're following.
And they buried their loved ones before 24 hours.
Yes.
Within 24 hours.
Exactly. It's the same culture. So, but the only thing that when it came to our own, they twisted it. They said that is the Muhammad version. They don't want to circumcise. But those who are following the culture are still doing circumcision. That's the point I'm trying to bring. And that was why I asked the question, was Ishmael a Muslim? He was never a Muslim.
Yeah, under this
Muhammad
era,
was not the only person that came out from the lineage of the loins of Ishmael. Ishmael had wives. So have anybody asked question, the other children of Ishmael, where are they? Who are they? We're only paying attention to Muhammad, fifth or sixth descendant of Ishmael. Where are other children? They are the Arabs you're talking about. Some of them are even the so-called Jews you're talking about. The same thing with Abraham. Do you know that after Abraham, hold on, sweetheart. Do you know that after Abraham, Sarah's wife died, he married another wife called Keturah, and she had many children. Yes. Where are they? They are part of Arabs. It's in the Bible. I didn't write that Bible. According to their Bible, Abraham married another wife after Sarah. Her name was Keturah. And she had children, about 8 or so. Where are they? Who are they? That's not the topic of today.
And yeah, let's find out. If you think about Esau got married to the children of Ishmael, which is Esau is the Edomite.
You see what I'm saying?
The Edomite.
Edomite married an Ishmaelite. So where are these people? Ishmael. Who are they? Some of them are Christians, some of them are Judaism, some of them are Muslims, but they practice their culture.
Exactly, strictly.
That's the point I'm making.
Yes.
And that is what we're trying to tell our people. Your religion should not override your culture, because your culture is really who you are. Your culture comes before any religion, because I can change religion anytime, but I cannot change who I am, which is my culture. That's the message. I can decide to be a Buddhist tomorrow. I can decide to be a Muslim tomorrow. That will not change me to be hungry for apple or ofe nubu or iji ogiri ete ofe. It has a special spot in me because that's my genetic wiring based on my culture. The hunger will be there. The appetite will be there. That's why somebody like me continue to reverence about our culture. She predominates anything we are doing. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Judas, whatever. As long as I see you, you are an Igbo person, you are a Biafran. That should rise above everything. Because that is one thing you and I have in common that will never, ever change. Genetically, geographically, that's who we are. That is the message we are preaching. That is the message I'm preaching. I can change my religion. I cannot change the genes in my blood. Yes. I cannot change the genes in my blood. I cannot. They may mutate. But anytime somebody does a DNA, it will take them back to where I come from. Look at what is happening today. Black Americans are doing genetic profiling. It tells them where they come from. They don't speak the language today. They don't speak the dialect. They don't even eat our food. But the gene is still telling them where they came from. And that's who they are. That's culture. That's values. That's who we are. That's what we're talking about.
You can never run away from your shadow.
No.
It continues to run with you.
That is why I say that this guy should go and do his homework before he comes out to open his mouth just to satisfy those puppies following him. He makes a fool of himself each time he comes out with this kind of nonsense. And that is what propelled me to say, let's come and put this guy, put some sense into him because he's stupid. He has no idea what he's talking about. Nigeria is not even structured to take care of their immediate problem. Do you know what these things will cost us tomorrow?
A lot, a whole lot.
In fact, there was something Dr. Tina said on the program yesterday that I went and Googled it. Let everyone listening to me go on Google Map and zoom Nigeria and zoom our region, Biafra land. You will see how we are blowing the ozone layers. We are supposed to be tropical forests. You will see pocket holes, how we are destroying the vegetation. Even if you're using the casket made by wood. We don't even have enough land. You're cutting down trees to make the casket. Deforestation. Changing the climate. Climate change we're talking about.
Destroying the nature, polluting the nature.
Destroying the ecosystem that is supposed to sustain us. We don't even have anunchi anymore. You can't see them. You can't see bushmeat. These were part of us. You see, as I live here, America, if you're driving, there's some places if you're driving, they will put a sign that this thing are crossing deer. You don't kill them.
That's low, yes.
Because you know what? They're part of the ecosystem. The only thing they do when their population begins to get over, too much, they will introduce some hunters to go and kill some of them. But you need them. You can't eliminate them because there are some predators that are feeding on them. They need them to survive. Something like eju or igide koneri. And igide nebi in the earth, inside the earth. Now, when you poison the earth with all this so-called embalming fluid, the igides will die. If the igides die, then there will be nothing for things like eju, snail, to feed on. You're diminishing their population. I don't want to talk about River Rhine because their own is worst. What pollution have done there in the name of drilling oil. But I'm talking about the hinterland. These are the dangers of embalmment. Because when we reduce the number of days we leave people in the morgue, the mortuary people will still be making money. Those who are decorating things will still be making money. Nobody is depriving anything from them. They will have a safer environment. We have a cleaner water to drink. Our foods will be clean. We are reducing diseases. We won't even have hospitals to manage what we are dealing with now. And somebody is coming out and telling you, just because you want to take a swipe at DOS, oh, they want us to go and be Muslims. The man that went and translated Quran into in Igbo language, did I hear him come and have an attack on that man? That's why I told you he's not doing it because he has anything to say. He's just doing it because he came out from DOS, because he came out from Woru, and I hate him. Because of that, I will say it is wrong. That's what he's doing.
That guy is just a compound.
Which
idiot.
makes you to know the quality of his mind, that this guy has little mind. He has such a little mind that he can't even see the truth and call the truth the truth.
Okay, now, eventually, if we decide to ask him, Berima, and his gullibles, tell us, how is our people supposed to bury their own loved ones?
Bring one of them in.
When the Jews
will answer you,
none of them will want to come in. These people are empty on top of their head. They will come here and start arguing. When the Jews bury their loved ones, within 24 hours, when the same Muslim bury their loved ones, before 24 hours. Now, what is our way? Since he said that we bury in 3 days, which these 3 days is just because we do not want to make things difficult for our people.
My brother, this was our way. This was our way. It's not that somebody introduced something new. That was why I read the article from Google. This was our way. This was what we were doing before. And we had a fertile ground. We were able to cultivate yam. We were able to cultivate all these things. They yielded proceeds. We were able to plant ugu, nayini, and owa.
So how many days are we supposed to take?
You mean before we are doing it?
Yeah.
They were doing it from the 4th day the person died to 4 days. The person must be buried.
Yes. And which means during that time, before the introduction of morgue or mortuaries, our people need kerosene and all these things.
Yes, na spirit, kai na henda. And then yes, exactly.
So that there will
not for families to view. It's just for families to view. It was for viewing.
Yes.
And then sometimes they will wrap the person with plantain leaves. I read those things on internet. Go and Google it. I didn't write them.
So will you tell me that during that time where there is no fridge, because we know about fridge, which is 6 feet, where there is no fridge, you will tell me that people will keep their loved ones at home to be smelling after maybe 21 days according to Eperima, so that we will not practice Islamic religion.
But somebody has translated the Islamic Quran into Igbo language. He didn't say anything about it.
He can't say anything about it. Remember that you don't know where this guy come from. Do you know where he come from?
I have no idea. Not even interested.
So you don't know whether he's a Fulani father, and you don't know what's going on. And that is exactly why I always tell his gullible followers to ask him where he come from, so that you will go and ask people around there. Is this person really Biafran, or just my mama carry me come? So we will know what we are dealing with.
My dear brother, the argument you ask his people to ask, question you ask them to ask him, in that Finland he is, how many days, how many weeks do they keep anybody? Ask him. My God, I don't go too far. In that Finland he is, this person is advocating for you. If Simon dies there, which he's going to do, they will not keep him more than 2 weeks. He must be buried. If not, the government will bury him.
Yes, yeah, and these 2 weeks is just because of
Because they're expecting that he was going to be transported back to
yes,
Nigeria.
yes, only. Other than that, the next 2 days he's supposed to be Ajana Alaja.
Exactly. So this person that is proposing for you, where he is, can he tell them the law? Because you have a lawless country. We are trying to establish a lawful country, not lawless
Yes,
country.
exactly.
That's the difference. And he doesn't understand that. The same water that is going to fall, sip all the chemicals into our rivers, killing our fishes. That's where our people are going to bathe. The same water you're going to use to make pure water, already contaminated. A country that has no regulations. And somebody didn't give it a thought. And he came out on social media just because he has to say something. Why is it our people are, nobody's encouraging, people like him are not encouraging our people to go into researches, produce something. Have a patent on something. That's an easy way to make money. When you make that money, it stays in the family because you control the patent for at least 7 years.
Exactly.
We have the raw materials. Google what I'm telling you now. There are countries that are beginning to do what I'm telling you. They are using raffia, banana leaves to construct caskets. Why can't people take it? Why can't we take a lead on it? We have the natural resources there. Why can't our boys, our women who are smart, brilliant, finish colleges, universities, they don't have anything to do, no job for them. Why can't they come together, put their brains together and begin to do things like this, especially designers? This is the things we should be pushing ourselves to do. The gold mine is from the mind. It's not outside. Let us be creative. Raffia, Ojungo, they can use it to create casket. By the way, the Yeshua these Christians are invoking, was he buried in a casket? 18. According to their Bible, he was wrapped up in a linen.
In a white linen.
In a white linen and tied up just like the Arabs do. You see my argument? So if they're trying to tell me that if you don't bury somebody the way our people used to do our culture, the person will not make it to heaven. Or the person will not, whatever will happen. Hello, what about Yeshua? It's just a question.
No, if you can understand that the colonialists, what they did to us was to write our destiny and our culture and hand over to us.
And we're playing the scripts.
So that is, we are playing the script definitely, because we are very, very lazy in our minds to go back to see exactly whom we are. And I blame our old people, our those people who are supposed to be our traditional rulers, or Hanes and all these people. They have abandoned where they're supposed to be working on, and they are working where they are not supposed to be working. If you call an elderly person now to tell you about history, they don't know about it because they were carried away by a Nyondo Chanyefa. The white man gave them mirror, and they were looking at it.
And everything.
They were busy changing their culture, changing their future, changing everything. If you look at the world, the people that colonialism affected the most is our people.
Yes.
It affected our people that we become so lazy to the extent that Ebubago killed 14. What did they do? Nothing.
And now, yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw some people coming out saying the Zombe is burnt. I'm like, what are we supposed to do? You guys had opportunity to protest. You refuse to protest. It will continue to happen. Because you don't want to come together and fight a common cause. Let me throw this in the mix.
So scared.
Yeah.
Where they are not supposed to be scared. They made them so lazy.
Yeah.
Where they are not supposed to be lazy. You were telling me how, people are working their ass off.
Mm-hmm.
People who live abroad, how
Yes.
they work so hard
People don't understand.
to pay bills.
Mm.
And the people who are back home will believe that they are living in a platter
Yeah.
of gold.
Yeah.
And they will be calling you every day, send me money.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yes. Yes.
Without knowing how hard you work to
Some
get
of
that.
us don't even get 4-5 hours sleep.
Exactly.
You're driving, you're eating. Some of us, our stove is the cleanest thing we have in the house because you don't use it. From your coffee in the morning, you go into Starbucks or whatever. That you buy your lunch, you buy your dinner. By the time you come back, you just want to sleep.
Exactly.
Some people don't use their stove here. No
This
time
is
to cook.
now. You will find it. You have opportunity to end your predicament. You are relying on a battery.
Yeah.
We told you go out there and protest for
They
Ebubago
refuse.
to cease to exist.
They acted like they were
I
doing it
told
for
you
us.
to go and sit at home. You look at yourself. You don't. You actually.
Exactly.
Until we change the way we reason
And
the way
let
we
me say
approach
this thing. I'm going to bring this thing in, Mazi. Let me tell you what our people are not getting. Some of us are not getting. Because we want to, this nonsense this idiot was proposing or projecting, how Mazi Nweru wants to come and do whatever. We should continue to follow the way of the colonial master, whether it's benefiting us or not. That's what he's proposing.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you what these colonial masters, they do. When they come to you, or what they did, when they come to you, they will tell you that everything you were doing
is wrong.
Were wrong. Okay? Then once they get there, then they will start destroying you. And while they're destroying you, they have no mercy at that time, at that phase.
At all.
Once they have finished destroying you, subdue you, masculated you, owned you, then they'll start preaching to you, vengeance is for the Lord. You get the point?
The Bible is in the wrong hand.
If they slap you here, turn the other cheek so that you can go to heaven.
Yes.
But at the time they were dealing with you,
vengeance
they would now begin to quote the Bible that kingdom of God suffered violence.
And the violent people
take it by force. That's their own version.
Yes.
Let me give you a typical example. Do you know the person that instituted or came up with the Nobel Prize? Do you know him?
No. I haven't come.
It will shock you. Those who are listening now, if you can tap in, who is the person that initiated Nobel Prize award? And I'll go ahead with the story.
Go ahead.
His name was Alexander Nobel. He patented about 300 and something things. He was a scientist. He was intelligent. He was smart. He was a lot of things. But let me tell you his greatest invention, why he came up with this Nobel Prize. He was the one that came up how to use gunpowder to create dynamite. He was the one that patented gunpowder. Every destruction, every human being that is killed today, he started the bullshit. That guy. Go and Google it. The first time I watched this documentary was probably 10 years ago. So now he realized he had created a monster. After he has made money from all the sales of dynamite, gunpowders, and all these bullets and everything, all those things. After he has made money, he came to the awakening. Oh, I created a monster. Oh, all these people that are being killed. Oh, it is because of my invention.
Money,
Yeah. They have, it's my invention that is all the wars that are being fought. That are using my invention to kill people quicker. Because in those days, it was knife and arrow and all those things. So you are not killing people at the rate you are killing people today. He opened that door. So to make himself feel good, he came up with Nobel Prize. Talking about anybody who can promote peace, you get the award. But first of all, he created chaos. This is the manipulation of the colonial masters. That's where I'm going.
These people are very manipulative, very, very intelligent. You know, I give it to them.
And what are they using? Their minds. Do you see my argument? Their minds. So now we should continue to be burying our people with all these toxic substances, because they have introduced embalmment to us.
And the fridge to us.
Yes. It's not even the fridge. The solutions they are using is the problem. So now we'll continue to do it at our own detriment. And these people are making money off us. Because I can tell you all these chemicals that are being environment fluid, how many of them are made in Nigeria? None of them.
Zero.
Everything
Nigeria should at least refine their oil before making chemicals. They should refine their oil at least.
We'll continue to enrich their pockets, destroying our ecosystem, creating all these modern diseases to our people, destroying our lives. And then maybe in the next 20, 30 years, they will come and build a health system for you to be treating those diseases. After they have finished you, they will still be making money.
Remember, they are not treating it.
Do you see our problem?
Remember, they are not treating it.
No. They're managing your health. They never told you that it's healthcare system. They're managing you. Health management system. They're not there to cure you. They're there to manage you.
Because they made sure that they destabilize those medication, those traditional healers.
How can you even get the roots and herbs you're going to use to heal people when you're destroying your environment? Where are they going to grow? But the Amazon forest is being saved. Nobody's going there. Do you understand our foolishness? We are destroying our own ecosystem. You know, as I speak to you now, if people can know the amount of oil reserve, that is petroleum reserve, that the gas and America have, you will not believe it.
During COVID, when the oil went to zero, I remember Trump said they are filling it up.
They released a little bit.
No, they filled it up.
Oh, yeah, they filled it up. Yeah, I thought you said. But when they have like fuel scarcity, you know, when the price start going up, they will release a little bit. They are not tapping it. You know what they're doing? They continue to collect our own. When our own finishes, now they will tell you how much you pay.
Exactly. They will not regulate
That's
it
the game.
anymore.
They have huge oil and gas reserve in America here.
And remember, they want to use it to they are saving it also for Third World War.
Exactly. So these are the things we are bringing. Why can't we learn how to take care of ourselves? That's what Maazi was preaching. Keep our environment clean. Save all these unnecessary expenditures. Get our health back. No. Because it didn't come from Ekberima. That statement did not come from him. That thought process did not come from him. So because of that, it's bad. That's why he's doing it, my dear. Nothing more, nothing less.
But he has nothing in his brain. Do you think he will be able to come up with a vital information such as that?
No, he cannot, because his mind is already corrupt.
His mind is on fundraising.
That's what I'm saying. It's already corrupt.
Lies he is going to tell his gullibles.
For you to be an inventor, you have to be a deep thinker.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a talkative.
You have to be objective. You have to be a thinker, and you have to be a problem solver. Because anytime you see a problem, the next thing that comes to your mind is, how do I resolve this issue? That's how you start thinking. In that process, you resolve it by inventing something.
Exactly.
Ekperima is a consumer.
Serious one. Serious
He's a
one.
consumer.
Yeah, he does not have any invention mind.
No,
Mind of invention. He doesn't.
he's just a consumer.
Serious one.
Anything on his part, he just want to consume
A
them.
kind of a person, if you make him a president of a nation, he will liquidate that nation.
No, just give him 24 hours, that country will
He
collapse.
will liquidate, he will
He will
collapse
collapse that
that
country.
nation because he is not a thinker, he is not an inventor, he is not a
He's not a
innovational,
problem solver.
he is
He
not
creates
solving
problem.
anything.
He creates problem. He consumes problem. He consumes what other people have done.
Solution. He consumes solution.
Yes,
He
he
creates problem.
solution. That's what he does. That's who he is. So you asking me why he's doing it? These are the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. He has nothing to give, nothing whatsoever to give. Look at what he has done. Everything Mazi has created, everything the OS are coming up with, he tries to create a parallel one. Ask yourself, why can he not be initiative? Why is he not coming up with his own idea? He doesn't have the ability and capability to do so.
Yes.
It's right there. Because why not create your own group and do whatever you think you have your vision and mission? Go and propose them there. Go and express them there. Because he doesn't have the ability. He likes to write on other people's achievements, try to make it his own. He doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the mental capability.
He doesn't have initiative.
No, it's lacking. And that's what makes him a criminal. Experiment.
A shallow one.
Yeah, he has a very shallow mind.
Because
Martin said anybody who knows what to do to solve the problem or to bring Biafra, he never asked you to recreate everything he has done. He didn't ask you to recreate it. Come up with your own idea. Come up with your own idea, not recreate everything I have done. University of Radio Biafra, Voice of Biafra, ESN. He changes his name to ESN.
IPOB and
DOS, DOE.
IPOB, autopilot.
IPOB, autopilot IPOB. Nothing is original.
At all.
You begin to ask yourself, is he even original?
That's why I keep asking people to ask where he comes from.
I don't know.
He's not original.
That's the point. So I don't know if I answered your question, but that's what is going on there. That's what is going on, my dear brother. So I just want our people to understand that what DOS said through Mazi Nwuru is something we should seriously think about. First, because of our health, our environment. Just like I said earlier when I started, I said the way the world, the nature is, you take care of nature, nature takes care of you. When we are born, the land we live on, we feed from it. The land nourishes us. The land sustains us. When we die, we are supposed to replenish the land, but not in a toxic way.
Yes.
That is what we're beginning to do, and we have to stop. If not, we're going to pay a very horrible price. Horrible price.
That's the way it is.
Yes.
So now thank you very much for taking us through this great good analysis that you have just given to Biafrans. And now we need to now go further to talk about why do you think that our people like other people to think for them instead of them thinking for themselves? Because does it mean our people are lazy? Does it mean that we have a generational problem? Does it mean it is a curse? Or does it mean that there is something more than colonization did to us by our colonial master? Or does it mean that we are mentally weak?
We we have to look really back. I don't think we are lazy people in the mind. I don't think so, because if you go back to who we were, even in the 70s, even in the 80s, we were not lazy. So what I will attribute, the major thing I will attribute, if that's my own perspective, is the oil boom. Okay, this mismanagement of the oil boom, the mismanagement of the oil boom. Now, what do I mean by that? When the oil money started coming in, people now began to give credit to the leaders that were looting the money. People now were not rewarding people based on integrity. People were not being rewarded based on honesty, values, all those value systems we cherished. People were not rewarded based on hard work. So those people who will go loot the money, come back, they were glorified, they were given titles and all that. So even the Bible says, when the foundation is corrupt, what can the righteous do? It's a poignant question. When the foundation is corrupt, what can the righteous
do?
The righteous in this case are those who want to do the right thing, those who want to work hard, those who want to engage their minds. Remember what Biafrans did during the war. We are talking about the same species of people. They came out with their own weapons. Even though they were caged, they had no resources coming in. They were refining crude oil locally. Even I heard, I don't know whether it's a true statement, that they were even making car brake oils from coconut water. I don't know how true it is.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I had stories like that. It's called necessity, the father of invention. When there's a problem, even within your own space, if you engage that problem, try to solve it, you will come out on the other end victorious. But if you back away, the problem will still stay there. It cannot be resolved. So when people began to see that those who were not engaging on hard work were being rewarded, why would I then work hard? In fact, I'm being looked down upon. I that is trying to do the hard work is being regarded as being lazy because I am not going the other way. That is the problem.
Don't forget, there is this thing I don't want you to move away from. You say when the foundation is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we, what does, you ask that question again?
When the foundation is broken, corrupt, what can the righteous do? So I use the word, when the foundation is corrupt, what can the righteous do? Yeah.
Righteous do. Now, and the same Bible, where does it take us to find the precept? He says, separate yourself from the unbelievers, which is what we are trying to do today.
That is where we are trying to go.
Ourselves from Nigeria.
Yes.
Because the foundation is broken.
It's broken. You can't fix it.
Fixed.
That is the
so there is no other thing we can do.
That is the argument people are making about these politicians. It doesn't matter who you bring in there. It doesn't matter whether it's Yeshua. You cannot fix Nigeria because the foundation is broken. It's a new orientation, which is what Radio Biafra is doing. People like you are doing. Reorienting our mind. Trying to reset it. Begin to let people know that real values pay. Hard work pay. Follow that route. Integrity matters. It should not be how much you make, without minding how you make the money. It shouldn't be how much treasures you have, without minding whether you killed everybody on your path to acquire those treasures. Those should not be our mantra. Those should not be our yardstick. That's the preaching
Remember
going on.
what propels that? What propels that is inequality. And inequality is practiced because of a broken foundation.
Inequality, I wouldn't really say complete, because all fingers are not equal, but they all play important roles. Is the way the people are making their money. In America here, is everybody equal? No.
But the ones that are big does not just intimidate the ones that are poor
That is
or
what I'm
start
saying. So it's
throwing
not
money.
about inequality. Even those who are on top try to make provisions for those. Intentionally, they make provision. It's when our people started coming here and corrupting some of the laws of America, which our people look at loopholes, they begin to close them. They left it intentionally so that ordinary person on the street can survive. Somebody asked me one time, why do you have so many beggars in America? Nobody chases them away as long as they're not constituting news and they're not disturbing you. Because they have to eat. They're not forcing you to give them money. It's your will.
Yes.
They have to eat. Thanksgiving, you will see people going about giving them things, communities, all these people are just giving them things. I have done it several times. I'll be driving, I'll walk, I'll go into fast. I don't eat fast food, but I'll stop at fast food, I'll buy food, put it in my car. If I start seeing homeless people, I give them food. I don't like to give them money. That's my own thing, because I don't want them to use it for something else. I buy them food. That's the society, that's the system. But in our own, you see one person will be ochiri ozo. That's the problem. Exactly. You have money. Look, I heard that Okpai is trying to build how many number of thousands of church sitting. That church is trying to build. It's not going to bring employment.
Remember, he's one of the people who bring this fake magician church in Nigeria. Exactly. I am not apologetic.
This church auditorium is trying to bring. It's not going to impact the community in any way.
Instead of converting sites to factories and employ people, they are building churches.
He's building church. This church is going to even take in more from the people that are already suffering.
From poor people.
From poor people. So this is not about all fingers being equal. Even in the Bible said, they asked Yeshua, why do we have the poor among us? They will always be among you.
When I talk about this inequality, it's not about really all fingers being equal. It's about let the rich not use because they are rich, commit a crime, and they will go scot-free. And the poor now will want to go rich so that they will go scot-free tomorrow when they become rich.
Because the question you ask yourself, when these rich people commit this crime, who is advocating for them? I'm asking you a question. The same poor people. That's the problem. There is something somebody said, somebody tweeted, he said, Nigerians do not have a problem with bad leaders.
It's true.
The only time they have a problem with bad leaders is if the person is not one of their own.
Nigeria, they actually recycle failure.
They love it as long as it's their own.
Because they are failure.
Yes. So look at even that thing Ojus Okalo did. That statement he made inside the room. And him and his colleagues, I don't even know why all of them try to wear white. I don't know what that signifies. They were all wearing white. They are talking about bringing Tucano J to bomb them. The people outside were singing Idi Anyimma. Okay, I want you to think a little bit. They were talking about bringing Tucano J to come and bomb the people, singing Idi Anyimma.
To bomb the children in the
I thought about this. I said, Chideke.
And ever since Fulani was in the bush killing people, Ojus Okano never thought about bringing jet.
No.
They never thought about taking jet to the north and killing Boko Haram.
No. The irony for me is those people singing Uzo whatever, not the Anyima, not the Anyima. When the Tucano jet will come, it will bomb them, bomb their children, kill them.
Even kill them that are in their farm cultivating.
But they were the ones telling him, adulating him, not knowing that he was inside planning their death. This is what is happening.
This is mind destruction. These people, they destroyed our people's mind with oppression.
That is the thing. That's the argument. That is why I said when the foundation is broken, one can the righteous do. Those even want to do the right thing, it's impossible.
Yes, it is impossible.
It's just like total overhauling, total mind reset. And it's not easy to reset the mind. That is the struggle. That is why it looks like it's looking difficult. It is not easy to reset the human mind.
The only way you can reset the mind of our people in that zoo country called Nigeria, can I tell you how?
Laws applied.
And these laws, you can never implement a law inside a corrupted foundation already.
No, when the law is applied, it's not promulgating the law. It must be applied. That is why somebody like me is calling that the Nenayanya must be at least suspended. Kanum takano expelled. Because Nenayanya continues to go and be dining and whining with people that have been expelled from IPOB. That's violation number 101.
You know, when I look at
you
all
should
these
not
people,
stay there. Keeping her there is encouraging other people. They can do the same thing.
Exactly.
That's my argument.
And this is exactly what they,
because now you're trying to tell people that these laws or the principle guiding IPOB is meant for some people.
And
the rich and the powerful, the connected. I am Imam Mado. That's what you're trying to tell us. When it's supposed to be equal, it doesn't matter. Because when you begin to adjudicate the law equally, everybody will sit on their toes. But if I know because I have connection, I can break the law and get away with it, tell me why I should stop. That is the problem in Nigeria. That is the problem in Africa. That is the problem.
And now, if I must tell you, the only solution to Nigeria, to the problem we are having in that sub-Saharan called area, it is actually to start afresh. And starting afresh is in disintegration of that structure.
But that's what we're advocating. That's, we're saying the same thing because you cannot build on a faulty foundation. The foundation is corrupt, is broken.
And as a result of this broken and corrupt foundation, you found corrupt people like Nenayanya, Kanum Takano, Simon.
Exactly.
These are products of all this.
They are bringing it into this mess. They are bringing the mess into our.
Remember, before you save somebody, you need to save yourself first from the same thing that you want to save somebody from. That is why our conscience also say, the Bible say, remove the piece of wood in your eyes before you extend it.
We cannot be accusing the zoo, accusing that the same thing zoo is doing is what we are trying to carry on.
So we are accusing them because these criminals are the product of the zoo.
Then remove them. You got to remove them because they have become like a cancer. You don't cut them off, they will corrupt the whole body. Isn't that what their Bible said? If your eye is going to stop you from making it to heaven, gush it out.
Cut it off.
It may not feel good, but you got to gush it out. Isn't that in the Bible?
It is.
Your hand is going to prevent you from going to heaven. Cut the hand off. Is it going to be painful? Yes. Are you going to bleed? Of course. But you want to save the rest of the body. That's the point. I don't have any personal, hatred against her. No. But her behavior is encouraging other people.
Yeah, you can do it tomorrow. You can get away with it
Exactly, once I'm connected.
as
And that
long
is
as
why
you
they
know
keep telling you,
somebody.
oh, Onyendo Pota. Are they trying to tell me that Onyenduna is going to come out and speak from two sides of his mouth? He told us to follow DOS. Then Onyendo will come out and now say, oh, no, I didn't mean to say that. Think about what they're saying.
The most important thing is for them to to expel Canon Takano. It is very, very important for a discipline purpose.
Yes.
It is very, very important.
Yes.
And Nnenna you can relinquish him from all her duties. She should change the account. If she refuses, she
Let me
can
ask
go
you a
with
question.
the account.
I have one single question that is, why is it that when it comes to her, is it because she's a woman? People try to soft pedal on her.
No,
I'm
the reason
curious.
why, remember that
I'm
he is holding IPOB
But she's
money.
not bringing it out. It's not useful right now. So when Mazi comes out, Mazi can resolve it.
Okay, they can actually sack her. Then we can ask her about the money later.
That's why I use the word suspend her for now.
Yes.
She's not
Because
bringing out the money. We are not using the money. The only thing the money is being used is to be paying her. She's already paying herself.
and she's getting paid, definitely, yes.
She's the one paying herself.
Yeah, and paying Canon Takano.
And then
If
coming out
there is
and kissing other people that are being paid. I asked a question on Ikenga's page today when they were talking about it. I asked a question, okay, she and Kanunta are the ones projecting this nonsense that DOS are being paid, okay? So who is cutting that check? She's Madam Finance, right? So if these people are being paid, she's the one paying them. Right?
Yeah.
She's holding the money. She's the one disbursing the money. So if these people are really being paid, she's the one that cuts this check and gives to them every month. Right?
Yeah.
And then she's telling us that it's a bad thing. Onyendu never said they should be paid. Why is she paying them then?
Exactly.
People don't ask questions. I ask myself that question. You are the Madam Finance. You are the Finance. You are the one that pays who need to be paid. So why do you continue to pay them? And if so, showing us the evidence that they are being paid will be like ABCD to you because you are the one cutting the checks to them so that we can resolve this issue. But no, you know you're lying, but you continue with Kanunta to propagate these lies. Meanwhile, you are the one that cutting check for yourself every month. You see the twistness in this nonsense they're doing. How they get things twisted and people are buying it. People don't ask questions. HOD is not handling any finance. He's not in charge of finance. Martin Worry is not in charge of finance. The other people, none of them near finance. She is the only one. If anybody needs to be paid, it's her that's going to pay the person through her department.
So why do you think that when you talk about that one, Kata, the Delilah herself, Nelly of Ebu, the one that has been ostracized, on the relegated and sidelined. What do you think is the reason why she mentioned that Nanyanya was going to India to look for Juju? Do you think because now the more we talk about these things, the more I am actually remembering.
I'm not going to that Juju thing. Now, two of them know themselves. I tell you that
I
don't know whether it is.
I know that the one who was claiming it is diabolic, and diabolic know their fellow diabolic.
Of course.
So
maybe
now,
somewhere, maybe this is the only thing I can say because, like I said, I don't want to go because I don't know what they know. But if I have to say anything, I would say best of the same feather flock together.
But
maybe when the going was
to India, that
yeah, maybe when the going was good, because I believe there was a time they were talking to themselves. I don't know. I'm speculating right now. So maybe when the going was going good, you know how people can talk. Maybe two of them had conversations of meeting native doctors. Do you know this? Maybe they did. I don't know. Because that's the only thing I can think about. Just like I am now. Anybody I have not had that kind of discussion with, or cannot just come out and accuse me of doing juju thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I have never had a discussion. I've never mentioned it. I've not even talked about spiritualism to the person. The person will just come out and say, "Hey, Marien, hear that you go to juju." I don't know. So that would be a wild one. So maybe when the going was good, they exchanged some discussions like that. Or, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless she was just Igbo on the Kobuti, which I don't know.
No, that thing was so deep. That thing was so deep. There are many things that was said. No, it's not Igbo, as far as I'm concerned, because it looks like somebody introducing somebody to a native doctor, and now because you have the money for IPOB money, you have upper hand. Now you made the native doctor turn against the other person.
Like I said, I don't know. Again, I always say things I really, really don't have any idea. I don't like to just make a wild case. I can only speculate, which I've just.
I also understand your situation.
Maybe I'm just speculating. That's the only thing I can think.
Why do you think that the leadership is not thinking of it? I don't know if they are thinking or if they are not suspending Nanyanya. Don't you think it's because of going to India?
My sister, I say my sister, sorry. My brother, sorry, because my brother, you know what I always say? For one, I believe that there are spiritual abilities. I believe strongly. And I believe there are spiritual dimensions. I strongly believe. I believe there are people that have gifts. They can manipulate nature, call it anything. They can use herbs, roots, incantations to manipulate things. I believe. But another thing I believe that is not as loosely as people make it to be. I'm not saying those people are not, they are. And they don't walk the way people try to portray them, that they walk that way. They don't. Because if they do, believe me, you and I will not be alive today. We have a lot of enemies. They would have made us to vanish. Okay? And again, if it's like that, why is Ohamadike still sitting there after 1 year? Where are these people? Where are they?
Remember that
I asked my question.
Remember that the prophecy said that we only have knowledge to do evil.
I understand. Let me tell you, okay, I'm going to bring this story now. What you call evil from your perspective, somebody else is not calling evil from their perspective. You got to understand that. Do you know that?
Yeah.
We're all praying to the same God. Whether people believe it or not, there's only one God. And you and I are having an altercation. You are praying to God to give you the strength, the ability to defeat me. Because you consider me your enemy.
Yes.
When I go to pray to God, what do you think I'll be asking him to do?
To give me the authentication to defeat you.
Because I consider you two my enemy.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, what I'm trying to say is, those who claim they have these abilities, let them do it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but spiritual things don't work like that. They have their own guiding principles. I'm a spiritualist. I know what I'm saying. It is not like where people make you whip your hand, you say, I command this. No. They have their own laws that govern them. In fact, they obey their own laws more than human beings obey their own laws. That is why you cannot do something in the spiritual realm without obeying rules and regulations if you don't do it, you pay a price. No ifs, no buts. It doesn't matter who you are.
Because God himself is a law.
God cannot violate himself. That's the only thing holding God today is God himself cannot violate his own laws. That's why he's God. Even though he made the laws, he can't violate them. You can know from here now you want to do something in another territory in the spiritual realm without appeasing the gods that control that territory. It won't work. That is where you come to each aja. That's one of the reasons a na-eji achụ aja. Ndị Igbo na-asị na achụ aja ka ikpe ma ndị mmụọ. You appease them to allow you, give you permission to, you're going to somebody else's territory and domain. So again, I'm not dealing with spiritual things, but I'm just telling you, let me give this story. Maybe we'll end with that. It's a spiritual story. There is this man, he was a businessman. I'm trying to tell this story to tell you that what you consider a good thing, sometimes to somebody else is not a good thing. It depends on how you're looking at it. You understand? So actually, what I'm trying to bring up here, that in the spiritual realm, there is really no good or bad. There's really no good or bad.
Yeah. What you call good, I believe, it looks like it's what you call good becomes good, or what?
There is no good, there is no bad. Do your thing if it was for you. Because if you really want to be serious, even go to the Bible. They tell you that life and death and in the hands of who?
God.
One God. He kills. He sustains.
And so man was exposed to knowledge of good and evil.
that was it. So what I'm asking people, this God that life and death is in his hand, when he takes life, because that's what people say, will you call him a bad God? People don't think deep.
And that is the same
all
reason
God is trying to do, if you believe in that, all God is trying to do is to balance things. Because if you continue to have human beings living without death, you'll be overpopulated. There has to be a control. The only prayer is that I don't want to die now. Somebody's going to die if I don't die. We must understand that. That I die today does not mean I am the worst person. It was just my turn.
Yes.
And that my death probably has enabled somebody else to live. This is nature. So let me bring the story. I think I shared it with you. A man, there was this church and there was this man. He was a businessman. Great businessman. He had a business, and his business, he had multiple locations. He was a dangerous giver in that church. What I mean by dangerous givers, even when people couldn't pay their tithes, he helped them to pay their tithes. If the church needs $1,000, he will give them $200,000. He was that rich. So everybody loved him. They gave him all manner of titles. You know, that's what they do in church. He was the one sitting next to the pastor. After the church, pastor, Naim go carry. Even before the pastor's wife.
Because
there came a time he ran down to pastor and said, Pastor, I have a big problem. Pastor was like, what is the problem? He said, my business is collapsing. I had 10 locations. Within 3 months, 6 of them have shut down because business have slowed down. I need help. Pastor said, we must go into fasting and prayers. You are one of us, strong member. We cannot afford to watch you lose your businesses. Pastor made an announcement in the church. Of course, everybody, they were all willing because this was a giver. They embarked on a 2 months fasting and prayers. A month later, the same man ran down to pastor, said, Pastor, good news. Pastor said, what's that? He said, something has happened. Not only have I recovered my lost 6 locations, I have opened 2 more. Business is booming. The pastor was like, praise the Lord. We must declare thanksgiving. Of course, they bought cows and everything. It wasn't have Fulani cows anyway. It was a feeble. They slaughtered them. They were having a party. Bam, 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 bam. Then there was as the party was going on, there was a brother, a sister. Let me use the female. Was a sister like me, somebody like me, who was sick for a long time. In fact, she had cancer. And the church prayed for her. In fact, she almost died. But within that 2 months, but within those months, and the brother was having difficulty, his business progressing, was when this sister was suffering from cancer. And then the church prayed and she survived. Her cancer went into remission. She was there. So the sister was like, excuse me. I want to know, my brother, I'm interested in this, your business. You make a lot of money. I would like, even if it says franchise, I would like you to give me one location to manage. What kind of business is this you're doing? I would like to know, my brother. If I can establish one, I would like to. And the brother said, I am a funeral home director. I own funeral homes. I own mortuaries. You're laughing.
Hey, why wouldn't I laugh?
Okay. I'm teaching you something about life.
How many days fasting?
1 month.
1 month fasting for a funeral?
That's not the argument. The question I'm going to ask you now and our audience is this. Was it God that answered his prayers? Because do we understand that when this man came and said that his business was going down, the implication is that people were not dying as much.
Exactly. That's why I'm laughing.
And when he came back and said that business is booming, he's telling you that people are dying more now. And they are giving thanksgiving. The question becomes, was it God that answered his prayers? You don't have to answer me.
This is what Europeans found out.
This is life.
They discovered.
The sister that survived cancer, was it God that answered the prayers? Because from the perspective of the brother,
this cancer is supposed to kill the sister so that
he can have business.
Yes.
So they can have business. So, do you understand what I'm trying to say, my brother?
Exactly.
If you ask that man, at that time he was losing the business. And that was when my sister survived the cancer. He would say, God is wicked to me. He's not answering my prayers. God, I want increase in my business. What are you really telling God? You want people to die.
So basically, the kingdom of God suffered violence.
Take it by force.
The violent people take it by force.
Yes.
That is the reason why Europeans...
That's what they're using to manipulate you.
Yes, they tell us to don't do violent. You will go to hellfire.
Yes.
Don't do violent. Don't retaliate.
They're using violence to rape you, take all your things. And
don't protest so that the Bubagu will go. They will kill you.
Exactly.
Don't protest. Yes.
Like God is sitting down there waiting for you to come down. Because you did a good thing, but are here inheriting the earth.
You must do something for something to happen. Sacrifice.
Somebody have to die for somebody to live.
Yes.
It's in the Bible. Yeshua died so that they may live. Isn't that what they say?
It is.
I didn't write the book. Our Hamadike is in dungeon, sufferings for you and I to be free.
Yes.
He's not doing it for himself. Nothing is free. Even the air you breathe. Somebody paid the price for it. Somebody is paying for it. So why would people sit down and fold their hands expecting things to just happen? No. This is the problem we have in Nigeria in Africa in general. Somebody has to pay the price for others to live. Nothing is given free. You are waiting for God to judge, come and give you judgment. The same God is the one that are calling to empower them to continue to subjugate you.
Yes.
The same
And
God.
until you realize and you activate your own,
Do you understand my argument? It's the same God. So the answer, my question becomes now, so is God answering them and leaving your to answer your own that are killing? Is that what you want to tell me?
God say prayer without work is dead.
So the bottom line, God has nothing to do with what you're asking him. He has equipped you with mind, equipped you with hands, brain. Get up, go and take care of you.
Where is the richest place on earth? Please.
Graveyard.
Thank you very much.
Wasted minds.
Thank you very much. So
unused minds.
This is where we activate our prayers.
That's where it is.
Our prayers, our riches, everything.
God has given us everything we need to succeed.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God is above your shoulder.
Well, he said, "Think you but you know the same Bible says what? According to Yeshua, he said the kingdom of God has come. The kingdom of God is within you. Then he says, seek ye. He didn't ask you to seek outside. It's inside you.
It's above your shoulder.
It's inside
your brain. Brainstorm.
Because the same God you're praying to, somebody else is praying for him to take away your own prayer.
Yes.
So if God is the one, let me give an anytime I give this example, in fact, there was a white couple I gave it to last night. They said this is too harsh. I gave them another example. They say we can deal with it. I said because you don't like to deal with reality. Let me put it this way: Tinubu, Obedient, Atiku, they're all vying for election in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Tinubu and this feeling will say they are praying to Allah so that they can win. What are they telling Allah? We don't want Obi to win. God, make it impossible for Obi or Atiku to win. That's really what you're asking God to do. Atiku is praying that he will win because the spot is only for one person. So that means indirectly what he's asking, whether he's conscious or not, he's telling God, I don't want Tinubu, I don't want Obi to win. Obi goes to church, they pour all the oil, anointing, everything, prophecy, even whether he goes to native doctor to do whatever. He's actually asking God, I don't want them to win. And then all of them will come out and tell you they are nice people, they are righteous people. No. You just pray for the downfall of somebody else because that's the only way you can have your own way. That is why when you go to the book of 2 Corinthians, it said, even when we pray amiss. You don't know what you're praying for.
We don't know what we are praying for. And that is the reason why colonialists.
That is why God has nothing. God has nothing to do with it. You guys sort it out. The winner
they are not apologetic to what we are going through because it elevates them until we build a principle.
Do you understand?
That will be able to counter it. We are not fighting against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
When you understand this thing, it will help you a lot in life, to navigate life. I got this information probably 25 years ago when I was a member of Ikanka, when I was practicing that. I was a sorrow with restitution. So I was going to Ikanka, all those agreements. I have been seeking for knowledge for a long time.
And that is the reason why those type of places, we call them the people who do rituals.
Exactly.
Because they were exposed to the knowledge of good
they
and
understand,
evil.
and that is why they have it over you. They have this life. They game you. They know how to operate the system. Do you understand? You're going for an interview where they have told you we're only looking for 2 candidates. And you go to your pastor to pray for you, give you anointing oil. Remember, you claiming you're righteous, so you love one another. And you go to your pastor to pray for you, to give you anointing oil, you do whatever, so that you can go, you'll be the only person they will hire. What have you really done? If God should answer your prayers, remember somebody else is coming to that same interview, praying to God to be hired. So if they hire you and not hire the person, you actually pray that God will not allow the person to be hired.
Yes.
This is life.
Instead of another dog will kill my dog. Let my dog kill another person's dog. I will pay for it.
That's a long one. But you understand, this is life. So what I'm trying to say here, that remove sentiment. This fight we are in, let's get Biafra first. This is the difference. We are caught up in sentiment, waiting for God to come down from heaven to fight for us. The Boko Haram and ISWAP are praying to Allah to defeat us because from their perspective, they believe they are doing the work of Allah, converting us.
Yes.
Because I always hear people, the same people are calling Chukwokika.
They are having gun and bullet with their...
But after they finish calling Chukwokika, they will carry AK-47 to go and accomplish the job.
And you will say Chukwokika my bani muno jedina land.
Ijedinala.
I say give up time
and
protest.
to come down from heaven to carry AK-47 to go and fight these people. He'll be looking at you if there's if God is there, he'll be like, "These guys, are you real? I gave you the same mentality I gave them. In fact, I gave you even a better one. You refuse to go and do the job. You want me to come down from heaven to go and fight for you?" Hey. That is our problem. And that is what the IPOB is preaching.
David was a warmonger.
Thank you.
David, but he's the man after God's heart.
You know how many people he killed?
Even kill a man to
set a man up just because of his wife.
Exactly.
Did he go to hell? Did the Bible say that he went to hell?
He's still a man after God's heart.
He became a king. All you hear about was that he became a king.
Prayer without work is dead.
Even all the nonsense Buhari have done, what will go in the archive that he was a president?
Exactly.
That's life.
Someone need to fall for somebody to rise.
Somebody have to fall for somebody to rise. Even nature. Before you get a mountain, there has to be a value by the side of the mountain.
Definitely. Before you get a crop, you have to plant a seed, and that seed have to die
before it can come up.
So before it will build up.
It's life. So what I'm trying to tell us here is praying is not bad. But if you think you will just pray, something will happen, it's a lie.
It is a big fat... I know. It is a... I know what I'm saying is a tautology.
You're going to match it with something. Lie. That is why I made the statement. These people, every day on social media telling me the automobile, why is our Hamadike sitting down there for 1 year?
And they haven't used the automobile.
You know, in the olden days, that is when they will tell you and they will do it, you will say it.
Yes. Supernatural people.
They were harnessing it.
People, they never...
Is it possible? They will have lost.
Do you know another problem? Those people were not eating canned food, tin fish, baked beans, all food. They were supernatural
They
people.
were close to nature. They interacted with nature. Nature ministered to them. They were in communication. They were in relationship with nature. We have drifted away from nature. Let me give you an example.
Their brain is fertilized.
In those days, in our bushes, all they could have sent bees. You don't need any AK-47.
Yes.
The bees will go there and chase them, and the namas kill them. You don't need any AK-47. So people that do those things, if they do exist in our place, where are they? That's my argument. Talk is cheap.
Exactly.
Because we have moved away from nature, followed the way of the white man that we do not understand. That is the problem.
We are not even following their ways. The way we are just consuming their implementation, because if we are following their ways, they are resolute, they are resilient.
Yeah.
How
So,
can we be doing white wedding when we have our traditional wedding? And
my
if
dear
you
brother,
don't do white wedding, you are not
in
part of
the
you have not
Bible
done.
you're reading, I challenged a pastor when I was going to church, when I was a practicing Christian. Show me in the Bible where there was a white wedding. No. From Genesis to Revelation.
Even the name of it, white wedding and daughter
Whether
wedding.
you call it white or black, you can never see that thing there. You can only see traditional ceremony.
Yes, bride price.
Wedding. That's it. The same thing our people were doing.
And the same people
Show
we are
me where
following their
anybody
culture, they
went to
don't say bride
synagogue.
price.
Show me where anybody went to synagogue or went to church and had a wedding. Show me in the Bible. People don't ask questions.
Wasteful expenditures.
Thank you. I'm not asking them not to do, but I'm only asking a question. Because they make it look like if you do not wait, you are going to hell.
They
So
prioritize it.
Show me in the Bible where there was a wedding in the synagogue or church. So you're telling me all those people who are the foundation of your religion are all going to hell because they did not wait. Because that is what they propose in Nigeria or Africa. You didn't wait. You're going to hell. Show me in that book. I didn't write the book. I'm only interpreting what is there.
The book is in the wrong hand. Nothing is wrong with the book.
And when I asked the pastor, he was looking at me. I
hand.
said, Pastor, with all due respect, show me. He couldn't show me.
What does he know?
I had a lot of argument with them before I left church. That was the reason I left. Even the same thing they do with what you call baptism. Show me in the Bible where there was an infant baptism. Even Yeshua was not baptized as a child. He was baptized when he was 30 years old. What you have in the Bible is dedication, not baptism. But these are the things they brought in to be eating our money, making money out of us. Show me in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation where you saw anybody baptize their child at young age. Never.
It's nowhere to be found at all.
If you understand the meaning of baptism, you have to confess your sin and then decide to embrace this new faith and ideology. A child cannot confess.
Imagine.
So when the child grows up and starts doing whatever you say, you're going to hold the child responsible.
Definitely, the baptism is initiating the child into mental slavery.
Exactly. That's the purpose. It has nothing to do with salvation. Because if it's salvation, the person should grow up and understand what they want to do and then advocate for themselves.
Yes.
When I was going to church, I challenged the pastor too. And he agreed with me. Dedication, not baptism. When the child grows up, the child can then decide whether they want to come in or not.
And that is
we're
not doing spiritual.
We're not dealing with spiritual things or religious things. I don't want to digress.
That is the reason why it looks like we give birth to children who are caged-minded, who are mentally enslaved
Exactly.
Because we initiated them, we colonized them with ourselves.
And begin to hammer them with all the lies.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what is happening. Yeah, that's what it is.
A child that is raised in a free world is a free child and a free-minded child.
And they're the one that do exploit. That is why it's like they do exploit. Because if you take the same person from where we come from, bring them here in a free world, they do exploit. So the problem is not the people. That is why I said the problem was not that we are wired in a very nasty way or we are not strong in the mind or whatever. No. It's the environment, the nurture.
It is the environment. Why
take that child and bring out here. You see the child will blossom.
Why is there so many Biafrans in engineering this thing in America?
Yes.
Manufacturing things in America. But
I'm not even talking about the ones that we are giving birth here. Somebody you picked up from there, brought the person here. Give them years if they're serious. So the brain was not wired at that time. The brain has been wired. But the
because
problem
of
was that the person has
the
been caged,
skeptical
cannot express.
environment.
You see all this nonsense they do. Let me digress a little bit. You see all this nonsense they do, I'm against it. Anytime they're having like international football, soccer, or this thing of sports, they go and bring people abroad. Our people should stop doing that nonsense.
That's why they are
Because if you
failures.
stay in Nigeria, they will make sure you do not develop. But then you go to another country who will develop your talent. That's when they'll come and use you. They have potentials in Nigeria. How many of them are they developing?
Imagine.
It should stop.
Making the
Because if
rich
that individual
richer.
has stayed in Nigeria, the person would have been wasted. The mind would
Yes.
have been wasted. The talent would
Yes.
have been wasted.
But that is
These 14 youths they killed, and all these people that are killing are potential engineers, doctors, ITs, inventors, scientists. But nobody cares. Nobody
And
cares.
hope who's on them come rapping rubbish. They
Nobody
are dying
cares.
rich.
That
That's why I say that.
these minds are being wasted. Nobody cares. But if somebody brings the person outside and develop, they want to claim you now. You're a Nigerian.
You are in Nigeria, and the idiot will come
And
and
the
say,
fool will go and start
the
paying
idiot,
homage.
yeah, will come and start paying homage. You don't see Anthony Joshua and Ndoti. Or since when he kneel down for Buhari. What is his what was his result? What has been his result all those while? He knelt down for a failure, so he continued to
We
fail.
cannot continue because again, I'm going back to the question you asked me. Why do I think these things are happening? It's people like this. They didn't help you. If you had stayed in that country, they would have destroyed your talent. You would have been. Then when you go out, they develop you. You come back and be, paying homage to them. So why would they not continue to be doing what they're doing? Tell me why.
They will.
If all these are athletes that go outside and make it, when the time comes, Nigeria invites you, you say no, they didn't develop you. Then maybe they will think twice and begin to develop
Exactly.
they have.
Because all these people are selfish. They are still the product of Nigeria. So selfishness.
We are our own problem, bottom line. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Seriously.
We allow these people to be using us.
We allow them.
We allow them to use us. So, my brother, I think we have hit about 2 hours plus, almost 3 hours. There's this singer called, I'm going to end with this. There's this singer called Tina Turner. Maybe I heard her music in America. You
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, yeah. Because of what what they did to her, I don't know, I can't remember the incident, but there was something that happened between her and the American government. She denounced the American government, took the citizenship of Swedes. That's how people function.
You can disown anything. You can disown your.
If it's not beneficial to you,
you can disown your parents.
But what our people is doing that where people have this syndrome of a captive. Somehow you fall in love with that person that is treating you bad.
Yes.
Stockholm syndrome. The person that you fall in love with the person because you want the person to acknowledge you.
No,
country that is not giving you anything. A country that is not. Look at how many months universities have been on strike.
No one cares.
No one cares. Then if you pick one of those students, bring them out here now, the society develop them, they become whatever. Then they want to go and claim Nigeria. That try to destroy them. That's another argument I have for this Kanu Takano. Because during this nonsense he created with Sit at Home, he claimed that it was because of exam, right? That our children needed to write an exam, right?
Yes.
I have not seen any write-up Canada has put up against this strike, university strikes.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Our children, are they not on strike? Are they not part of the university population? But Canada has not found it fit to write anything for them to end it because our children need to be educated. But it was so convenient for him just because he wanted to challenge DOS to counter an order they gave for Sit at Home.
Remember,
That was their
our
motivation.
people are positioned to fight their savior instead of fighting their
Thank
boogeyman.
you. I'm going to end on this note, my dear brother. Unless you have something else to bring in.
I think
Um,
we have come along. We have,
it's
you
about
know,
3 hours. So,
yeah, it's
so
three
that's what the
hours.
experiment is doing. He has no content, I meant to say. He lacks not, he has nothing in his brain, his mind. So all he has to do is just continue to object and object and object because he has nothing to contribute. That's all he's
Ab-
doing. That's
Absolutely.
all. We must save ourselves from ourselves. God cannot come down from heaven to save us. The white people are not coming to save us because they are benefiting from our own uh, problems,
Yeah, they're benefiting from our own ignorance.
our own ignorance, our own disunity, our own dysfunctioning. What I'm trying to say is all these, people are saying, oh, white people come and save. No, they're not going to come and save you because they're benefiting from our own problems. Now, every day, when somebody is sick or have a kidney problem, we transport them to India, right? Do you know how
Yes,
much India is making out of that?
a lot.
So now you want Indian government to come and help you to liberate you so you can build your own hospital and then they will lose
And
that
stop.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, people that are calling America, calling Britain and all this, Canada and all that to come and save us. Our brilliant minds are being shipped to them voluntarily and involuntarily. It's called
Hmm.
mind drain. Okay? In fact, they have made it so clear. Doctors, nurses, they are the people that are targeting engineers.
They are critical skills.
Critical skills that they are draining them from us. So now we are the one that come here to run their healthcare system, especially their nursing homes, their group homes, taking care
Because
of
they
their
know
elderly.
we will work like horse.
Yeah, taking care of their elderly, which their people are not willing to do. So you want them to allow you to fix your own place. Then this population will stop coming to them. Who is going to take care of their elderly? Who's going to sweep their streets? Who's going to run their nursing homes? Who is going to be the cleaners? Who is going to work at the McDonald's? Paid little or nothing. Who is going to do the 24 hours job? Getting no
And you
rest.
are and you are right. They will exploit you with even salaries.
So our people don't, that is why they're keeping quiet. Because you're trying to liberate yourself, and when you liberate yourself, they are going to go down. That is why I gave that story.
You
One
know,
man's poison is another man's meat.
desperation makes we Africans to lose our dignity. Desperation.
Yeah. So the Western world are like the funeral home owner.
Yeah.
All that praying is for people to be sick and dying.
Mm.
That's how they're praying to God. The more they see us as an object, continue to get ourselves in a mess, qualified as dying, their business is booming. So now you want them to pray to God to stop us from dying? What happens to their businesses? That is the position of us and them.
Definitely. And while we are asịkwa na ebe a na-adụ onye nwere n'ọdụ, enwe ka esi ekwu okwu a, but let's say what
Ebe
I
a
want to
na-adụ
say.
onye nwere nne ọdụ ka a na-adụ onye na-enwe nne nna ọdụ.
No,
O gere
no,
ntị.
not that one, not that
Okay.
one. There is something I want to contextualize with regards to the way our brain is positioned. You know, now what I'm trying to say, in all these things that we have said this evening, this morning, and this afternoon, depending on where you are watching from, does not mean that we are telling you that the sin does not exist. There is no sin that does not go unpunished. But the most important thing we are trying to do here is to position your mind to be to be resilient, to have that mental strength in order to understand that prayer without work is dead. That
My
whatever
brother,
you want to
I'm not,
achieve.
hold your brief, please hold your brief if you don't mind. What is a sin? Or what are sins?
I believe when you kill your neighbor is a sin. In
Okay,
order, when you kill your
hold
mother
on.
to make
From the
money,
perspective of the killer, why did he kill?
we want to make money.
Or he want to eliminate you because he thinks you're preventing him from having something.
It depends on what.
Whatever the reason may be, but he's trying to remove you, physically remove the individual from existence.
Those who use their mother for money ritual.
Whatever killing, whether it's a breach, whatever you're killing, whether it's war. So now, before the person, even, do you know that even some people, before they go to steal, they'll pray to God to make sure they're not caught? Have you thought about it?
Yes.
Even that person going to kill, be praying that he or she will not be caught. From his perspective. Because from his perspective, he's justified to do what he's doing. But
Do
from
you
the
think
perspective
it's
of the other person, their
justified?
prayer
If
will be
he
for,
is
I don't want the
justified,
individual to stop. That's why I asked the question. I'm not saying there are no sin. I'm not
if he
advocating
is
for sin.
wait,
But
if
think
he
about
is
it.
justified for doing what they are doing, why are they scared of being caught?
They don't want to be caught. Even though
Because
they
they
know
know
it's
they are
wrong.
doing something
Even
wrong.
though they know it's wrong. I didn't say this. He knows it's wrong. But from his own mindset, he feels justified to carry that
Yes.
act.
Yes.
It doesn't mean it. That's why I say what is a sin. It depends from the perspective of the viewer. We all know killing is wrong.
Where's the semester right in the sight of man?
Yes.
But the end of it is destruction.
It's destruction. You
Every
understand?
sin will be punished.
Because even if the person knows, once you understand that what I'm doing is not justified, you won't do it. From my past, not that it's justified by people. From my own perspective, I feel it's my justification, my right to carry out this act. That's why I'm doing it. Now, whether I'm going to do it while people are seeing me or not, that one is, will people justify my action? Now, that's when I'm thinking about other people, their reaction of what I'm about to do. If I feel that their reaction will not be acceptable, that's when I begin to hide. But the first element is, do I feel that I have to carry this act out? That's a struggle within me. If I cannot arrive at that conclusion that I must do this and give myself reasons, that's why I use the word justification. I must have given myself reasons why I must do this. And in my sight, it's a necessary thing that must be done. That's the justification I'm saying. That's when I will start planning for it. Then I can now start dealing with whether people will appreciate it or not. It's a different ballgame.
Definitely. So we need to start calling it a day.
Let's call it
At
a day.
least we will
But you
we
know,
will get. I
yeah,
know you are about to go to work. I
they're gonna
am.
get ready soon. So, but what all we're trying to make people to take is, one, we must take care of ourselves. The same way you're calling on God, your enemy is calling on God. People do things because they think they're justified. It doesn't mean that they are right. So you pay attention. You don't just follow people with what they do. Listen to when people say things, ask questions, find it out, and know it that somebody has to live for somebody to die.
Somebody has
Somebody
to
have to
die
die for somebody to
for
live.
somebody to live.
Somebody have
Yes.
to give something up for somebody to have it. So nothing is free. Nothing is given free. Somebody is sacrificing for it. Even as we are talking about the struggle for Biafra now, when Biafra comes, everybody is going to enjoy it. But there are people who made the sacrifices. Both the
And
ultimate
there are people
sacrifice.
who are gossiping.
Yeah. Both the ultimate sacrifice, those who have died, those who will die, those who will be financial sacrifices, all different kinds of sacrifice. But there are people who are just holding their hands. When it comes, you can't stop them from entering. But let them realize that there are people who made sacrifices, even the ultimate ones. That's the only way Biafra came or will come. That's the message I'm sending out there.
And that's how it is going to go down the history.
Yes, my brother. Yeah. Because if nobody makes sacrifice, nothing will be done. Nothing. You
The
can't
world,
get it.
the world is about sacrifice.
It's
When
about
the
sacrifice.
Europeans were trying to take over the land of Jerusalem from the Arabs, there was a lot of bloodshed. They never
Mhm.
gave up. They
No.
continued fighting. They
Mhm.
continued fighting. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will always make reference of that. They
Mhm.
continued fighting until they got it.
That's what the Taliban are doing. That's what the ISWAP are doing. Do you know how many of
Yes.
them have died? Do you think they're not dying?
They don't care
They don't care.
because they know that if you make it better, you're making it better for their next world.
It's their next generation.
Yes.
So
So we are selfish as Black
very
nation
selfish. Selfish, very
until we
selfish.
become selfless, knowing that what we are trying to achieve is not basically ours, it is for our next world. Not, I'm not saying it is for your next world
Mhm.
to come. When Oya Kaiji, that is the reason why they say if you pass a stool on the road, when you're going back, you will meet a fly.
Hmm.
So if you keep that road clean, when you are going back, you will enjoy the aroma of that road. So
Mhm.
now, if you get freedom in this generation, next your generation, you don't need to suffer.
No.
You need to live instead of surviving. So that is
But you know,
actually
even the Bible said he who tries to preserve his life will lose it.
lose it.
Do you understand? That thing is very deep.
Yes,
What do you mean? Because we're all going to die.
exactly. What do you die for?
What do you die for becomes the question. If you do nothing and the next 10, highest 120 years you die, is still death.
Yes,
The Yeshua that reverencing lived only for 33 years. They're still talking about him.
it's
So
eternal.
if you take that and flip it, you ask yourself, did he really die? Because his name has lived on.
You see the way we make Ojuku our eternal leader.
His name has lived on.
Yes, he didn't
But there are
die.
people who lived in his era because they contributed nothing. You will never hear about it. Even the earth will not remember that they existed. But all of them died.
And some people in there, they don't know the meaning of somebody's name living on. But that is a topic for another day. We are
That's the topic
going
for
to
another day. Yeah.
we are going to call it a day
Let's call it a
because
day.
there is so many things to it. We need to prepare your mind
Yeah.
because those who are still under cholesterol, they will not understand it because you have to taste the milk first before you will get to another point. Our sister, please, I want you to say your closing remark before we call it a day.
Well, even say that I said it. All my closing remark is that we must understand that this fight we are in, um, collectively, if we sacrifice, we will enter it. Yes, some of us are going to go down, some of us are going to lose things. But let's not be selfish. Leave it for just few people to continue to suffer, continue to contribute, continue to pay the ultimate sacrifice. And those who are paying this sacrifice, let us hold them dearly. Let us remember that if they behave like us, we will go nowhere. Especially when it comes to our Mazen Ohamadike and his family. When I mean his family, his wife and his children, specifically. So let's continue to remember him in our prayers, continue to hold him, believing God he's going to come out to carry on. And then let's remember that the sacrifice is given is huge. And remember those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We must remember their families. And I believe that is why we must continue to even strive stronger so that we're able to get Biafra so that we can immortalize their names. Because if we do not get Biafra, we cannot immortalize their names, and the whole effort will be wasted. It will be like a wasted effort. They have given the ultimate sacrifice. At least what we can do, we can bring them back to their families, to us, but at least we can honor them in a special way by immortalizing their names. With all that, I will say good night all for listening. Thank you all. Stay blessed. Marian Heder.
Thank you very much, Marien Heather. I believe we have done this again this evening, and the rest is left for Chukwuoki Kabiama, because you say, go into the world and preach the gospel of freedom. And there are many of these seed that we have planted. Some of them will fall on a fertile ground, and some will fall on infertile ground. But we pray that those which fall on a fertile ground will have high number.
Amen.
And we will continue to do what we are doing to educate our people. We have a lot to open to our people, but it depends on which one you are ready for. Because I believe whichever one we open the book, it is the one you are ready for in that moment, because Biafra is a spirit.
Yes.
That is the reason why you see each wherever it blows, we go there.
Yes.
Where you believe that we will not touch, by the time is the right time, we touch that place.
Yes.
We were defending Canon Takano and others yesterday. Today, we are exposing them because it's the right time.
Yeah, I defended him because I felt, injustice to myself. I call myself Maya, and I'm a Zururu, and I'm a Zotururu. Anywhere I see injustice, I don't have to know you. I don't have to be with you or talk with you, but I speak what I stand for. Nelly came out accusing him. By then, I have not received all these facts that I received now. How he knew about our Hamadike's demise in Kenya, and he kept quiet because Nelly did not bring any evidence. She did not bring anything. So I defended him based on information that was available to me. And from my perspective, that I couldn't, I don't care now how much I disagree with my sibling or hate, I don't hate my siblings. So that's why I find it difficult to use that word, disagree with my sibling. I cannot be part of their demise. I can't bring myself to that. So that were the things, the prince, one of the things that guided, I say, it cannot be. How can it be? But as information began to come out, and he has not debunked it. He has been said many times on the social media how he knew. He covered it, even instructed the secretary not to tell anybody. You begin to ask yourself, what was his motive? Because it would have been easier to fight for Mazi out there than when they brought him to the zoo. And then the subsequent behaviors, that's what I'm following. His subsequent behaviors, the sit-at-home issue, DOS tried to resolve it. Then he now went underground and began to walk through Master Prophet to create all this craziness, mayhem, causing Mazi Edozie every day. Mazi has feeling, he has family, he has children, he has a wife. He's a human being. He doesn't have acid flowing in his body. He has blood. He has emotions. Every day you come at a man. I don't care what he has. If you think he has done anything when it comes to this struggle, channel it. You guys deal with it. But you are not even a member of the group. Every day you come out, Chike Doziem must be expelled. Chike Doziem must be dethroned. Who are you to be calling for his dethronement? And then when people inside the same group with Nene and Kanota, who have been sending you as an outsider to call out on the dethronement of our own HOD, and now we have the right to call for these two people to be expelled. You have a problem with it. How can you do that? That's what I don't understand. And every time we are all calling God, 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 God. You have not been able to establish equity and fairness in the natural world. You have not been able to adjudicate fairness, equality in the fair world. Then you're talking about you're having relationship with Ancient of Days. No. Do you know him? If you see him, would you identify who he is? But your fellow human being, you see, you interact, you are lying on him. You are calling for his destruction. You are causing him, debasing him, dehumanizing him. You're not even a member of the group. And yet, when we begin to challenge you and those who sent you, you have a problem with that. No, that's unfair. I don't meddle with things like that. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing today. I didn't know him then, and I didn't know him on the Nayanya then, and I don't know them now. So I don't have anything personal.
Basically, we work with facts and figures.
Exactly. So I'm going to sign off, my dear brother. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you very much, Marien Heather. And there is somebody who sent me a message on WhatsApp, and that person, let me see who is that person. He wanted to join this program, but unfortunately, you won't be able to join the program because this is actually a very, very important program that we need to talk on this
Do you know
topic.
the person? I mean, they can join you now because I'm running. I got to run.
No, I'm actually running as well. I think I will create this. We can do it some other time. That
We
is
can do
always
part two. But why did the person indicate all this time?
no. He actually sent me this message early on WhatsApp, and
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's Maz. Is it OC? Yes, I think it's
Okay.
Maz OC.
Okay.
So, and I believe I thought, and we were going to finish this within 1 hour.
Yeah, remember we said 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Mhm.
I can send him link so that we don't get interrupted
Mm,
in between. But as the spirit of Biafra moves it,
mm.
we did it.
After
So
Shanam 3 hours here. I thought it was going to be 1 hour.
seriously, 3 hours. I am
Yeah.
also. But great Biafrans all over the world, thank you for joining. We see you on that comment section. Let me actually acknowledge our warriors in the comment
Yes,
section.
yes, yes,
You guys
yes.
are very, very wonderful. I don't, whenever I see them all over the place, even when I'm not online, we see them doing the needful where they're supposed to do the
Yeah,
needful. We recognize somebody in the likes of Kara Gold.
yeah.
You
Nkechi,
know, if
Nkechi.
there is a medal there, she is taking a gold medal.
Yeah,
And we
Nkechi, Nkechi.
recognize, yes, I think we recognize somebody like Raphael Adolf.
Mm-hmm.
We recognize somebody like Abby Gina.
Mm-hmm.
We recognize somebody like Barbie. I know there are many platforms which they will be, commenting in different platforms, but let me try and recognize as much as I can before. And we also recognize those on YouTube. I think I can see some comments here from YouTube. Mazis YouTube, Aish, Mazis YouTube also wanted to join.
Mm-mm.
Mazis, please, want to come in. Mazis YouTube wanted to join us. Mazis YouTube, please, pardon, bear with me. I will try to make this. I will try to make this you know, maybe tomorrow or next. Definitely, we are coming back
Yeah,
because this one, even though I cannot go to Twitter, but this studio I am using right now, I can now bring people in with it. But the other one, which we will be able to go to all platforms, I don't know. That one is the one I sent to you the other day, Marien Header. It is very difficult for me
yeah,
to bring somebody in there.
yeah.
But please, all of you who want to come in, pardon us. And tomorrow or next, we will try to have the interactive session where we are going to bring as so many of you that wants to join us. And I know that this has gone very long time. We didn't do our normal, joint broadcast and the interactive session as we normally do. Please pardon us and bear with us. We will do it as soon as possible. And we recognize all of you. And Agnes Chukwuemeka from YouTube, we recognize you. Donald, Eric, we recognize all of you. And what is the name? There are many of them. Sunday Sylvester will recognize you. You know, we have many platforms. In Kechin Naji, we recognize you. Oga Clement will recognize you.
I'm gonna
And
leave.
those who is here begging, I will begin to block many of you who are here telling people, help me with 1,000 and want to go and find a way to make Nigeria who put you in your condition to, to find a way to fix it. Because when you continue to beg in Facebook, you are actually constituting nuisance. Good evening. We recognize you, Chukwuka Obi. There is many of them. Akujobi, Oluchukwu. We recognize you people. If there are medals, you guys, I am giving you gold medals. All of you, because there will be no us without you in that comment section, tackling every attack of Umo Ekwensu. So that is the reason why we will give you this gold medal. Marien Heather, I think you left, or are you muted? If you are still there, I think it is time we will find a way to actually, create a trophy for our comment section warriors, and we will actually present it to them. So great Biafrans all over the world. Um, um, Fun Finger said, Judge Money, please keep inviting the madam to your program. She got what we need as Biafrans. I will do so each time we have time. We will keep the fire burning. She is wonderful. So, and we are now going to call it a day. Great Biafrans all over the world, lovers of freedom, and our African brothers and sisters all over the world who have joined this program to hear the gospel of freedom, because gospel for freedom is universal. It is not limited to any particular individual. It is universal, and it is accessible by anyone. So we are now going to call it a day until we meet again. Stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.